post it. Right there.
Attention fans, we have a first pitch tonight. Throwing out the first pitch is Wyatt Joyce, who plays T-ball in Quincy.
Sunday night baseball in the Cape Cod Baseball League. We welcome you to Whitehouse Field in Harwich, Massachusetts, where the Wareham Gatemen get ready to take on the Harwich Mariners on this Sunday night. Ethan Eibe and Kyle Marchak with you on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. The Gatemen looking to right the ship after dropping a rough one yesterday at home to the Brewster Whitecaps, an 11-0 victory in run rule fashion. But the Harwich Mariners haven't been faring much better as of late. They are losers of 8 consecutive ball games, the first time they've done that since 2017. They enter with a 9-14 record and 4th place in the Cape League West, or East Division rather, while the Gatemen still the best in the West at 15-8-1, but it's only a half game now that separates the Gatemen from the Gatuitt Cavaliers. Kyle, they're going to have to find a way to keep it up, huh?
Yeah, the Gatemen 5-5 in their last 10 and losers of 3 of their last 4. Just not a streak that you've seen from them all year. I mean, this is a team that's only lost 2 consecutive games twice this season. We're more than halfway through this campaign, right? So this is a team that's not used to this level of failure, you could say, but also a team culturally that's fit to string together wins. And if there's any time to do it, right now is the time.
Ryan Smythe and this group, they make no excuses. That's the culture they've instilled around here at Wareham. And they will send right-hander Griffin O'Connor to the mound tonight out of Georgetown University. He's making his encore start from an electric debut 1 week ago at YD. 5 2/3 innings. He allowed 1 earned run, struck out 2 on 3 hits in his first career Cape League win. He'll go toe-to-toe tonight with Bryson Bales out of Hendrix University. 4 games under his belt to this point in the season. A 2.84 ERA in 6 1/3 innings. Just a couple of earned runs allowed. 8 strikeouts for the left-hander Bryson Bales. Here's how Ryan Smythe lines up his Gatemen tonight. It starts with Antonio Jimenez at the top. The Central Florida product is the shortstop tonight. Sam White in left field, batting second out of West Virginia. Fresno State's Murph Gray third. He's at third base. Look out for him. He's a hot hitter at the moment. Reese Chapman out of Tennessee, the cleanup man in center field. Eli Putnam gets his 3rd straight start at first base. The Davidson product is in the 5-hole. Jace Reinhardt out of West Virginia, 6th in right field. Michigan's Colby Turner, the second baseman, hits 7th. Nate Early, the designated hitter tonight out of Louisville, in the 8th spot, with Clemson's Jacob Jarrell batting 9th and playing catcher. So that's your lineup for the Wareham Gatemen. Jimenez, White, Gray, Chapman, Putnam, Reinhardt, Turner, Early, and Jarrell. As Antonio Jimenez steps up to the plate to begin this ball game. Your umpires tonight here at Whitehouse Field, calling balls and strikes, Jeff Kenny. At first base, Chris Engstrand. And the third base umpire is Jacob Ashworth. 83 degrees here in Harwich tonight. Clear, beautiful blue skies as we get into the later part of this Sunday evening. Left-hander Bryson Bales on the mound, gearing up for his first pitch of the ball game. Here it is. Jimenez, first pitch, swinging a high drive out towards left field. The ballpark will hold it, and it is hauled in by Tommy Barth. 1 pitch and 1 out for the Mariners tonight. First pitch right on the dot, 5:30.
Now batting for Wareham.
Well, Jimenez nearly clubbed that ball out to get things rolling, but got a little under it. So we'll see how aggressive they are early in at-bats. That's been a trend the past couple of games. They're either seeing the ball well or they're not.
Sam White certainly has been seeing the ball well as of late, entering with a 283 average. Got the day off yesterday, well earned. It's starting for most of the last couple of weeks, ever since he arrived at the tail end of June. Lefty against the lefty. First offering. In there, a called strike 1. Uniforms tonight, the Gatemen in their navy jerseys, the red Wareham W on the right chest, red numbers on the front and back, outlined in white, the gray pants as well. The 0-1. Misses out. Mariners in their home cream jerseys. The blue Mariners across the chest, outlined in red, numbers on the backs. Everyone rocking the stirrups as well. These are shorter pants by design, so definitely a classic look for the Mariners as Sam White rolls over one foul up the first base line, picked up by the first base coach Cody Doyle. 1-2.
This is a full stirrup squat today. I wonder if it's like a team code or something.
I think it's by design. Just the pants are shorter. But hey, who's complaining? Not me. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch is in the dirt. So 2-2 to Sam White. Just underway here from Harwich. No score in the top of the first. Game 25 of this 40-game Cape League regular season. It sure has flown by. 2-2 coming. This one fouled off third base side. That'll fly out of play. It lands behind the Harwich dugout. Decent crowd on hand to take in this ball game, but still plenty of room if you're around town looking for some Cape League baseball to watch. Yesterday, the full slate rained out with the exception of Brewster and Wareham at Spillane Field. They were the only game yesterday. They preserved that Thursday off day. 2-2 again. Slider misses in. A full count now on Sam White.
Yeah, Bell's mostly just a fastball slider guy. He'll sprinkle in the changeup more against righties.
Payoff pitch. White drives one center field, coming on and making the catch, Matt Scannell. A case of just getting it too hard out to center field. Scannell traveled in a couple of steps to make the catch for out number 2.
The third baseman from Fresno State, number 24.
And with the bases empty and 2 gone, it'll be Murph Gray.
Well, it's 2 well-hit balls right there, especially Sam White. That is a line-out in my book.
The rest of the defense for the Mariners goes as follows. Tommy Barth in left, Matt Scannell in center, Cam Maldonado in right. The infield third to first, Jake Ogden, Ryan Weingartner, Kate Kurland, Michael Anderson, and Luke Heyman behind the plate for Bryson Bales. Left-hander set of the letters and deals, and Gray watches ball 1 down. Easily good.
Good thing he's 6'5".
Oh, yes. Gray, a big man up there. That right-handed batter's box, easily the hottest hitter in this Gatemen order. Hitless yesterday. Snapped a nice streak he had built up, though, as he lines this one right back from where it came into center field. And right on command, a 2-out knock.
Well, that's 3 hard hit balls. 3 batters, 3 hard hit balls. That's all good signs. I mean, you're going to hit the ball hard sometimes and line out, but finally, law of averages applies.
Gray entered the league leader in hits, so he adds his 29th of the season. And Reese Chapman to bat here. Tennessee product has done well through a week's worth of ball games as a Gateman. 8 for 23, good for a .348 average. First pitch to him. Curveball swung on and missed out in front. Chapman homered for the first time as a Gateman 2 nights ago at Falmouth. That was the Gatemen's most recent victory, a 9-2 triumph at Gov Fuller Field. They have lost 3 of their last 4, the first time they've done that all year. Runner at first with 2 gone. Scoreless ball game in the top of the first. The pitch, again, a wave and a miss from Chapman. The curveball down, swung right over the top. It's an 0-2 count to the Tennessee Volunteer. Bales comes set, looks at first, and delivers. And rolled foul down the third base side. Still 0-2 to Chapman. This is a Harwich team that has entered hard times. 8 in a row they have dropped. They've been outscored 72-47 in that stretch. Gray off of first a couple of steps. Medium-sized lead. 0-2 again. Fastball up.
Well, innings like this are so important for Harwich. It's a team that's top 5 in offense, but they cannot find pitching at all. So starting a game in a scoreless outing is so important for them.
League worst ERA entering play for the Mariners. Pickoff play to first. Bales lobs it over just to check on Murph Gray. That ERA checking in at 5.45. Gatemen enter with the 4th best ERA in the league. Still at 1-2 to Reese Chapman. The lefty deals. And Chapman lays off this slider low and away. 2-2 count.
It's a good take. He's seeing the off speed. It's just about timing it up.
Bales looking to get through this top of the first inning. His 16th pitch. Runner goes off the end of the bat foul. Chapman just barely able to stay on that breaking ball this time. It's still 2-2. And Gray will have to return to first base. He had a good jump. He has swiped 3 bags this year. Pitch number 7 in this at-bat to Reese Chapman on the way. Fouled off at the plate, right off his front foot. He's got the shin guard on. Good reason why. It's a fastball that time from Bales. Battle chant erupting from the Gatemen dugout.
Yep.
Can hear that from here. 2-2 again. Is down. Heyman the stop. Throw down to second with Gray going. The tag. They got him. Heyman throws out Murph Gray, looking to swipe the extra 90 feet on the ball in the dirt. Chapman left frozen at the plate as well. So the Gatemen come up empty here in the top of the first. Gray out number 3. Bottom 1 coming up. Mariners coming up for their first tax. When we come back in a scoreless ball game from Whitehouse Field, it's the Wareham Gatemen Baseball Network on Cape League TV.
Whatever your technology needs are, Secure One can help. Learn more at SecureOne.com. SecureWON.com.
The Wareham-based Eibe Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower, the largest private property owner in eastern Massachusetts, and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and stewardship. For 170 years, Eibe Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit eibemakepeace.com to learn more.
Attention baseball fans, are you ready to hit a financial home run? PCT Federal Credit Union is here tonight to make your dreams of home ownership and driving off in that new car a reality. Their unbeatable low rates on mortgage and auto loans are a win for everybody. Whether you're rounding the bases to buy your first home or looking to upgrade your ride, PCT Federal Credit Union has got your back. Swing by their tent before you leave or visit their website to learn more about how they can help you step up to the plate and score big on your financial goals.
The Eibe Makepeace Company also owns and operates Reed Custom Soils, the area's leading manufacturer of custom soils, including CU structural soil and Rooflight certified green roof media. Reed Custom Soil is also a manufacturer and distributor of baseball infield mix and conditioners. To learn more, visit www.reedcustomsoils.com.
Mariners come up to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. No score after 1 half inning of play from Whitehouse Field in Harwich. Gatemen will send Griffin O'Connor to the hill, making his second appearance of the season, coming off a terrific start over at YD. But first, here's how Steve Englert lines up his Mariners. Leading off is Ryan Weingartner, the shortstop out of Penn State. Florida's Kate Curlin in the 2-hole batting second. Daniel Dickinson out of Utah Valley third at DH. Matt Scannell, the center fielder, the cleanup man out of Wake Forest. Michael Anderson out of Arkansas, the first baseman, bats fifth. Jake Ogden out of Miami in the 6-hole, playing third base tonight. Tommy Barth, the left fielder from Kansas, is seventh. As the first pitch down for ball 1. Luke Heyman of Florida, 8th. He's the catcher with Cam Maldonado out of Northeastern. The right fielder hits 9th. Griffin O'Connor, the right-hander out of Georgetown, delivers and misses up for ball 2 to Weingartner. O'Connor certainly a quick worker. We saw plenty of that last Sunday at YD. Right-hander went 5 2/3 in his his Gateman debut, as this one's chopped foul at the plate. 1-2. 3 hits allowed, 1 earned run. He walked 2, he struck out 2, but more importantly, he got the W, Kyle.
Yeah, he was excellent, and a guy who already has Cape experience under his belt, and it showed.
Spent parts of last season with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. He gets the swing and miss. High fastball, 2-2. Not a guy who's going to kill you with velocity. Fastball sits in the mid to upper 80s. 2-2 on the way. And the slider outside to the right-handed batter, Weingartner. You can find him all over the Cape League leaderboards. Tied 7th in home runs, 2nd in the league in walks. He drives one out to right field. Drifting after this one, Jace Reinhart into the corner, has a beat on it, and makes the catch. Over towards the fair foul line for out number 1.
Well, that's what he does. He has, not the hardest stuff in the world, but a deep repertoire of off-speed, a really short, whippy arm action that can be very deceiving.
Said only struck out 2 YD Red Sox his last time out. Big pitch to contact kind of guy, relies a lot on his defense. Sure we'll see more of that today as he faces Cade Kurland, who watches ball one just below the knees. Kurland, one of the two Florida Gators in this starting lineup. Fouls off the second offering down the right side, 1-1. Hitting well after being added to the Mariners roster a little over 2 weeks ago. 326 hitter, 14 hits and 43 at-bats. The 1-1, breaking ball, popped this one up out towards center field, a sky-high one. Chapman drifting over to his right, hauls it in for out number 2. So a couple of flyouts for Griffin O'Connor, and 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the first. No score.
From LSU, number 3.
Yeah, right on cue.
Dickinson.
Just inducing that soft contact.
As Daniel Dickinson stands in, the rest of the Gatemen defensively sees Sam White in left field, Chapman in center, Jace Reinhardt in right. The infield third to first, Murph Gray, Antonio Jimenez, Colby Turner, Eli Putnam with Jacob Jarrell behind the plate. First pitch on the way, and a called strike at the letters to Dickinson. Dickinson hitting just 186 entering play. O'Connor looking for a quick bottom of the first. Fly ball belted deep to left field. White going after it into a dive, and he makes the catch. A tumbling grab in left field down the line by Sam White. What a play to end the bottom half of the first inning. All 3 outfielders seeing some action, but Sam White, he's Superman out there in left.
Man, he has played a really good left field. A kid who's played in so many different positions this year, but he looks like a real outfielder.
White jogging in now, securing out number 3. We'll go to the top half of the second. An eventful, scoreless ball game to this point at Whitehouse Field. Top 2 coming up on the other side of the break on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
For a good piece of glass, call Eibe. Located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham, call Eibe Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs. Mastria Auto Group. Whether you need sales, parts, or service, call Mastria Auto Group for all your Kia, Cadillac, Mazda, VW, Subaru, and Nissan needs. Mastria delivers. www.mastria.com.
Legacy Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding area since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency.
Looking to buy or sell real estate in the South Shore, South Coast, or Cape Cod area? Joanne Stevenson has been selling Massachusetts since 2000. Specializing in residential real estate, she is a part of the #1 Berkshire Hathaway Robert Paul team. Whether you are looking for your first home, vacation home, or relocating, call Joanne Stevenson, your local Wareham agent, for all your real estate needs. A proud sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. On our way to the top of the second inning from Harwich as the Gatemen and the Mariners do battle on this Sunday evening. Just about 6:15 o'clock here from Whitehouse Field. Ethan Eibe, Kyle Marchak with you on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. Our sideline reporter tonight, Madison Walker. We'll hear from her after the 4th inning. And our producers tonight, Joseph Patrick Henry and Allison DeWitt. Reese Chapman stands in to begin this top of the second. Left-hander Bryson Bales back on the hill. He delivers, and Chapman takes a swing. Ground ball right to the on-deck circle, where Eli Putnam picks it up. Putnam will follow Chapman, then Jace Reinhardt. Chapman saw 7 pitches in his first at-bat, and he was left at the plate as Murph Gray was caught stealing to end the frame. Bales deals. That one bounces to the plate for Luke Heyman to snare it. 1-1. It's a heck of a throw from Luke Heyman to get Murph Gray in that last inning.
You know what? It gives Chapman a second at-bat almost.
Gets to reset here. He's already seen plenty of pitches from Bales. Lefty on lefty battle. The 1-1 misses out. Gatemen enter hitting .272 as a team. Best in the Cape League. They've led the league in that department for the last couple of weeks. 2-1. Inside for ball 3 to Chapman. Also leading the league in extra base hits. Hits as a whole, 218. 3-1. And that's up and in, ball 4. Chapman draws the walk to lead things off here in the second.
Well, that was the type of at-bat that he was putting together in the first inning before Murph Gray got nabbed at second base. I mean, fouled off a ton of pitches, spat on any out of the zone. I mean, he was a super high on base approach.
So that brings up Eli Putnam. Chance to get a rally going for the Gatemen here. First pitch misses down for ball 1. Gatemen only mustered 4 hits last night against Brewster. The Whitecaps racked up 19 against the Gatemen over at Spillane Field. The only game played in the Cape League yesterday. Everybody else was rained out. Wareham got plenty of rain, but they were still able to muster up the field and get it ready for play, as this one misses out 2-0.
It's that stone dust.
Stone Dust takes the water well, and the coaching staff and the players as well worked their hardest pregame to get the field prepared, and they did a magnificent job. 2-0 on the way. And a curveball top of the zone called a strike to Putnam.
Now we're watching this game on this boring, normal infield dirt.
It's almost like I'm programmed now to not perceive a baseball infield to be brown and green, as this one's out 3-1. I'm so used to seeing the gray and green combo that Spillane Field offers. It's jarring at first if you haven't seen it before. It certainly was for the two of us when we got there for the first time, but soon enough it becomes like home.
Well, if it works for the University of North Texas, then why not?
3-1 on the way. Rolled over towards short. Deep in the hole. Picked up there by Weingartner. Throw to second. They get the out. Putnam reaches on the fielder's choice, but Chapman crossed off on the 6-4 putout. Putnam just rolled over that one. But he'll reach. He gives Jace Reinhardt an opportunity to hit. Reinhardt getting the start in right field. Batting 6th today, the West Virginia product. Left-hander Bales delivers and chopped foul at the plate. The ball hit the bat twice on the initial contact and on the follow-through. Michael Anderson holding on, put him at first. And Putnam runs. Pitch in the dirt. He picked a good one to go on, and he swipes second. Luke Heyman had it bounce right into his chest protector, but there was no way he was getting a handle on that one to make a throw.
Oh, I mean, just a well-timed steal right there by third base coach Mike Mobbs. Knows when that breaking ball's coming and sends Putnam, who's got long legs.
So Putnam on second with one away. No score in the top of the second inning. Reinhardt a check swing on a fastball up. Did he go? No, says the first base umpire, Chris Engstrand. So a 2-1 count to Reinhardt. It's cooled off a little bit. 260 hitter now. Lanky lefty delivers. Swing and a miss. Blew it by him there at 93 miles an hour. We've heard that the Whitehouse Field radar gun tends to add a couple of miles an hour.
Yeah, we saw that last time we were here.
2-2. Reinhardt, ground ball towards second. Curlin, the backhand, off balance throw to first in time for the out. Put him to third. He'll hold up there as Anderson gets it back to the pitcher. Reinhardt bounces out for out number 2. It's a good play there from Curlin. Fielded that one on the step into the outfield grass in shallow right center to throw him out.
I think Putnam was on the move on that pitch.
So he's 90 feet away from scoring with 2 away, and Colby Turner digging in. No score in the top of the second. Turner looking to change that. He swings and misses. Ball gets away from Heyman, and a huge backstop allows Putnam to score. He trots right home with the game's first run. It's 1-0 Wareham.
And unfortunately, I mean, that's just a typical way to allow a run if you're Harwich right now in this losing streak. But we'll take it.
It was a slider that was low, and Heyman didn't glove it. Not sure if it hit the ground. I don't believe it did. Either way, the Gatemen will take it. Turner up now with the bases empty and 2 gone. 0-1 delivery. Fastball up. It's ruled a pass ball on Luke Heyman. That's his second pass ball of the year. One ball, one strike to Colby Turner. Bales comes home, baits the swing and miss. Challenged him with the fastball up. 8 early on deck if it gets to him. Lefty on the mound against the righty at the plate. 1-2 to Turner. Up high. Counts even. Bales resets, working from the third base side of the rubber. The 2-2 coming. And a breaking ball down. Full count to Turner. Payoff pitch on the way. And a called strike 3. Turner down looking to end the frame. Gatemen due across first here in the top of the second. A pass ball scores Eli Putnam from third. The Gatemen have the advantage. 1-0 going bottom 2 here at Whitehouse Field here in Harwich on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
I'm Jesse Simmons.
And I'm Brendan Summerhill.
And this is Catching Up with the Gatemen. All right, so Brendan, junior, Arizona. From Chicago, though. Tell me a little about that. You said we talked about you grew up not far from Wrigley Field. What was that like growing up?
Yeah, a mile away from Wrigley. It was special. When the Cubs won in 2016, I really realized how cool it was to be a Cubs fan.
Right.
The entire north side of the city was partying for like, a week straight. I was in 7th grade. School got canceled the next day. We all got to go to the parade. It was super fun.
It's easy to say that. Did that grow your love for baseball early on, and being able to be a part of that and so close to an MLB team?
Absolutely.
You know, it's hard not to want to get into baseball, right?
It's just, there's something about baseball that there's nothing else like it.
Right. Was there an MLB player that you...
108 years, you don't win a World Series.
Right.
And then they win it, and everyone goes crazy. It was fun. It was super cool.
Was there an MLB player that you emulated your swing? You know, you play outfield. We talked about Ellie De La Cruz. You emulate that. Was there a different player growing up that you wanted to be like?
I always like to watch YouTube videos like Ken Griffey Jr. He's probably my favorite hitter to ever watch. I wouldn't necessarily say I emulated my swing off his, but
Back to action here at Whitehouse Field. Bottom of the second inning set to begin. A 1-0 Gatemen lead as Griffin O'Connor gets back on the hill. He retired the Mariners in order in the first inning. Got 3 flyouts, 1 for each of his outfielders. So they all got a little bit of action. Sam White made a terrific diving play to end the bottom half of the first inning. Matt Scannell to get things started, the Wake Forest center fielder. Michael Anderson, Jake Ogden are also scheduled to bat. First pitch from the right-hander. Breaking ball misses down for ball 1. Gateman scoring the opening run, previous half inning. Eli Putnam brought home on a pass ball. 1-0. Changeup drifts in there, even at 1 ball, 1 strike. One. Just below the knees for ball 2.
O'Connor, a quick worker, 11 pitches to get through the first inning.
Gets the ball, and he's right back ready to go on the mound. Here's the 2-1. Foul ball behind home plate. Gerald drifting, and he will not get this one. It's out of play. So 2-2 on Scannell. Scannell known for his defense. He's made a couple of outfield assists these last few games for Harwich. There's a reason why Steve Englert bats some cleanup. 2-2 coming. Pops it up again behind home. Gerald whips off the mask, and he'll watch that one sail. While Harwich has struggled, they've certainly had a couple of close ball games in their 8-game losing streak. A 13-12 loss to Chatham a couple of days ago. Followed that up with an 8-7 loss against Hyannis. So they've had their opportunities to escape this, as Scannell drives one foul down the right side. Still 2-2. Yesterday allowed 11 runs in their final 3 frames to Katuitt to lose 16-8. So then they've had games like that as well. Longest losing streak since 2017 for these Mariners, as the 2-2 just inside. Didn't miss by much if it did.
And I love that bullpen. I love that dugout. They are letting the umpire know.
Just hollering at home plate umpire Jeff Kinney. 3-2 coming to Scannell, and he rolls over one foul up the right side. 9th pitch of this at-bat coming up next. Gatemen up 1-0 here. Base is empty. Nobody out in the bottom of the second. 3-2 coming. And Scannell drives one out to right field, playing with the shade and losing the handle on this one. It goes over Reinhardt's head and goes to the wall. He lost it in the sun. Scannell on his way to third base. The relay throw in is wild, and it winds up being a Little League triple for Matt Scannell. Though I'm sure we'll see an E9 hung on Jace Reinhardt there. Unfortunate way to give Harwich their first base run of the game.
Yeah, that's brutal. I mean, it was a well-hit ball, but once again, a ball that they just hadn't hit in the right place. It was due to land right at the chest of Reinhardt, and somehow it sneaks over his head.
They'll give Scannell the triple. It's his first of the season. Reinhardt just lost that line drive in the sun. It's setting right in his face at the moment. The entire infield illuminated by the setting sun, with the exception of half the home plate area. There's a called strike to Michael Anderson. Sun setting behind us here, right behind the press box at Whitehouse Field. So right into the eyes of the outfielders as Anderson chops one up the first baseline. O'Connor picks it up. He'll go to first with it, and they get the out there. They hold the runner, Scannell at third. That's a huge out number 1 for O'Connor. Fielded that little tapper midway between home and first and decided to look at third before going to first base with it.
Yeah, that was an excellent play by O'Connor, a guy who has a super slow heartbeat on the mound and gets the ball in a tough situation. I mean, the runner's dashing right past him. He has a guy to worry about on third and still looked him back before making the play.
Scannell opting not to chance it, so he's still at third base. Now with one away, it's Jake Ogden out of Miami. O'Connor delivers, and this one lofted shallow center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit, and this game is tied. In to score Scannell from third, an RBI knock for Jake Ogden on the first pitch he sees. Just dumped that one into center field.
The left fielder from Kansas, number 15, Tommy.
Not much you can do about that. A lot of first pitch fastballs from O'Connor, and he's not necessarily a fastball first guy, and just left that one middle.
Just like that, we're even at 1 here in the second. And Tommy Barth next to hit with a runner at first and 1 gone. Triple for Scannell, now the base hit for Ogden to tie it up. First pitch of this at-bat, snap throw to first. Not in time, it was low for ball 1. Barth, newly committed to Kansas. He was at East Tennessee State. Gets the start in left field tonight for the Mariners. Righty on righty matchup here. 1-0. Finds the top of the zone. Called strike. Before the 1-1 delivery, a throw over to first just to check on Ogden over there. O'Connor comes set. Ball and glove chest high, he delivers. Swing and a miss. Took a little something off that one. 79 on the slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ogden gets off of first base. The pitch, swing and a miss. Got him to chase. Out number 2. Nice way to bounce back there for O'Connor.
Harwich, the catcher from Florida, number 29.
Well, that's good stuff. I mean, he had that guy on different timings, different eye levels, and got him with the slider.
So that'll bring up Luke Heyman, catcher out of the University of Florida. It's a Gator infield duo for the Harwich Mariners with him and Cade Kurland. Runner at first and 2 gone. We're tied at 1 here in the bottom of the second. Heyman watches a breaking ball outside for ball 1. Heyman hasn't hit extremely well for Harwich in his short time here. 172. 5 hits and 29 trips to the plate. The 1-0. Fastball zips up high. 2-0. Stands 6'4" in that box. Big frame catcher. Also plays some first base for the Gators. 2-0. Awkward swing and miss. He wanted to hold up there but could not.
Yeah, tried to slow down the bat speed on that, but when you're sitting fastball and he pulls out one of his slowest pitches, it's just so hard to time up.
Ogden not much of a lead to speak of at first base as the pitch misses out. 3-1 to the Florida catcher. Eli Putnam holding on the runner at first. O'Connor set, has the sign from Gerald. He deals, and it's nubbed foul right behind home plate. It is a massive backstop here at Whitehouse Field, easily the largest out of any ballpark in the league. We saw it already make an impact here on the pass ball that brought home Putnam. There's no way for anything to ricochet back anywhere. Just a chain link fence and a football field's worth of ground to cover. Slight exaggeration. The payoff runner goes. Chopper towards third. Picked up by Murph Gray on 2 hops. Throw to first in plenty of time for out number 3. Mariners strand a runner but bring home 1. Matt Scannell with a leadoff triple. Jace Reinhardt lost it in the sun. Jake Ogden brings him home 2 batters later. We have ourselves a tie game at 1 apiece. Going to the top of the third from Whitehouse Field in Harwich on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Welcome into our first edition of the Wareham Walk-Off in 2024. And our first guest, as we get to know you, is Tony Pluta, right-handed pitcher out of Arizona. You ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, Tony. Well, you're from Chicago, so what brought you out west to Arizona?
So my recruiting coordinator at Arizona knew my high school coach really well and knows that whole area very well. So it's just kind of how I got connected with them. Gotcha. So they reached out to you in high school. You told me you topped out at 95 in high school, so pretty easy to get noticed? Yeah, that definitely helps. But, you know, going all the tournaments and all that kind of thing helps. Okay, well, on top of that, you've developed some accolades in your short career in college baseball so far. You were in the Northwoods last year, and then college ball treated you well in 2024. Your spring was pretty fun. How about that Pac-12 championship? What was that like? It was amazing, especially being the last Pac-12 championship. It was an awesome feeling to win the last Pac-12 game ever. Yeah, and then Brennan Summerhill, your Gateman teammate, hit the walk-off. So is it cool to share that moment with your Summer teammate as well? Oh yeah, it's great. Every moment with Summer is something special, so it's great to have a teammate like that. Speaking of Summer, you've been to a lot of different baseball destinations. This is kind of your first one for an extended period of time out east. Where does Wareham rank all time? It's pretty great. I mean, the Northwoods was definitely its own thing, but I love Wareham. It's a great spot to be. Yeah, it's been fun so far. We made it to home plate, so my final question for you, what's the goal this summer? Just pitch well, throw strikes, and get guys out. Awesome. Thank you, Tony. Thanks, Kyle. That's our first edition of the Wareham Walk-Off. We'll catch you guys next week.
Back here at Whitehouse Field, it's the top of the third inning. We're tied at 1 between the Wareham Gatemen and the Harwich Mariners on this Sunday night on Cape Cod. Gatemen looking to get back in the win column after dropping a rough one last night to Brewster, an 11-0 final score in just 7 innings. Meanwhile, Harwich riding an 8-game losing skid. They're just about ready to do anything to break out of this slump. But
Leading off the top of the third
we
for
go
Wareham,
back to the
the
top
D
of the
for
third.
Louisville.
Nate Early to lead things
Number
off, the
15,
Louisville
Nate
product,
Early.
batting from the left side. He's the DH tonight, 8-9-1 due up for the Gatemen. Jacob Gerald, Antonio Jimenez to follow against the lefty Bryson Bales out of Hendricks. Gatemen scored a run in the top of the second, took the lead, relinquished that in the previous half inning as Early watches a breaking ball inside for ball one. Early, a .273 hitter entering play. Just one RBI for him this year, and that was himself. Homered a couple of weeks back as he chops one to the right side here. Deep in the hole, Kate Curlin to step on the outfield grass, throws him out. That's out number one. Couple of steps to his left, fielded that ground ball. Curlin smooth as ever at second base. So one gone for Jacob Gerald. Kyle Marchak freshly returning to the ballpark or to the broadcast. Got the water run in, right?
You know, it's not the easiest at some ballparks to find water.
Is that so?
But I'll be less passive-aggressive going forward.
Okay, sounds good. Jacob Gerald at the dish, and he drives this one high and deep left field. Barth going back at the wall. It is gone. Jacob Gerald, a solo shot, his second of the season, and the Gatemen retake the lead. It's 2-1.
Well, that kid needed that. Hadn't hit a home run since his debut, and he got all of that one.
Plenty of carry on it, and more than enough distance. A solo shot for the Clemson catcher. Gatemen right back out in front here in the third. And right back to the top of the order for Antonio Jimenez. If this lineup is going to work well, they're going to need production top to bottom. So good to see that from Gerald. Like Kyle said, hadn't homered since his debut at Bourne in mid-June. As this one misses down to Jimenez for ball one. Just a first pitch ambush right there.
Well, got a fastball and didn't miss it. That's for dang sure.
1-0 coming. In the dirt for ball two. Left-hander Bryson Bales winds and delivers, and a ground ball third base side. It eats up Ogden. He recovers. Throw to first, still got him. Nice play to recover after the initial bobble at the hot corner by Jake Ogden, as Jimenez is out number two.
Now batting for Wareham, the left fielder.
Well, it's another hard hit ball, too. Again, a guy who has a pretty flat fastball, so that the boys have been seeing it well. But he does change speeds, and that's how he's induced a lot of soft contact today. Similar to O'Connor.
So Sam White will bat with the bases clear and two away. It's a 2-1 Gatemen lead in the top of the third inning. Jacob Gerald's second home run of the season, putting the Gatemen back in front. The first pitch, wave and a miss at the breaking ball from White. White 0 for 1, fly out to center field his first time through. Lefty on lefty battle. Bales deals, and it's inside. 1-1 on White. White coming off an off day. Right back into the middle of things as per usual. The 1-1 coming. He chops it foul. Ends up in the on-deck area. Murph Gray's going to go grab it.
Being a ball kid here must stink. This backstop's so huge.
It is like running a football field after a while, I'm sure.
They're doing like 40-yard dashes each time.
Absolutely. 1-2 to Sam White. Way up high, easy take for ball two. Two coming. Off the end of the bat, foul at the plate. Still 2-2 to White. 83 degrees here at first pitch. A cloudless Sunday evening from Whitehouse Field. Sun beating down on these guys. Shade covering up most of home plate, though. 2-2 again. White rolls over it towards second. In the hole, Curlin. Off balance throw to first, and it's dug out by Michael Anderson. Nice play there on both ends for the Mariners. Gatemen, though, retake the lead. A solo shot for Jacob Gerald, the Clemson catcher, his second home run of the season. And Wareham has themselves a 2-1 advantage heading to the bottom of the third from Whitehouse Field here in Harwich. It's the Gatemen Baseball Network powered by Cape League TV.
I couldn't get out, so they stopped the game. Umpires actually had to peel me out of the fence and to pull the fence.
And an incredible guest for us today on the pod, in the words of the great Jason Stark, writer, broadcaster, and distinguished former major leaguer, Doug Glanville. Doug, it is terrific to have you on today.
So, any favorite ballparks that you visited while you were in the Cape?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you gotta love Spillane Field with like the all dirt infield or whatever you had going there, the darkened dirt. Let me see. Well, I didn't like Bourne because one time I slid for a ball. I was doing that cool move where the ball's up against the fence and you slide around it and then pop up and throw. And then I slid and went through the fence. So my leg got caught in the fence and I couldn't do anything. I had to roll the ball to the right fielder and I couldn't get out. So they stopped the game. Umpires actually had to peel me out of the fence and to pull the fence.
Oh my God.
So that wasn't a good memory. So Bourne, the fog always rolled in there.
Griffin O'Connor's got himself a nice little lead to work with here, going bottom of three, albeit it's only a run. 2-1 advantage for the Wareham Gatemen going to the bottom of the third from Whitehouse Field in Harwich. We'll face 9, 1, and 2 in the Mariners' order. Cam Maldonado to lead things off. He'll be followed by Ryan Weingartner and Cade Curland. His battery mate Jacob Gerald powering him to the lead, a solo shot in the previous half inning. As Maldonado watches ball one. Huge for Jacob Gerald, a guy who definitely needed that. Hadn't homered since his debut. A little bit of a power drought, but great to see.
Oh, yeah. A guy, like you said, hadn't done it since his debut. Really got that one.
Just inside, 2-0. O'Connor delivers. At the knees, does not get the call. 3-0 on Maldonado out of Northeastern. Homered 3 times this year, driven in 14. He watches a get-me-over fastball at the knees, 3-1. Gatemen looking to keep pace at the top of the Cape League West Division, now just a half game ahead of the Katuitt Leard, as this one is fouled at the plate and a full count. Katuitt in action tonight against Bourne. They're up 1-0 in the first inning. Brewster ahead of Falmouth 5-2. No score between YD and Chatham, or Hyannis rather, as this one fouled at the plate again. 3-2 still to Maldonado. Love the early start times here at Harwich. 5:30 first pitch. Righty against the righty. Payoff pitch coming. And a called strike 3. Dotted the fastball on the outer half at 88 miles an hour. He gets his second strikeout of the evening.
That was just a great pitch. I mean, that's his forte. A guy who does not make many mistakes with the fastball.
Knows how to locate it well. Pairs it nicely with the off-speed stuff as the Mariners go back to the top of the order. Here's Ryan Weingartner. First offering to him is just off the plate for ball one. Weingartner out of Penn State. Overwhelmed with a fly out to right field. As he watches ball two. It's a 2-1 Gatemen lead here in the bottom of the third. O'Connor locked in with Gerald. And the 2-0. Gets the call at the knees. Gerald, one of the better pitch framers amongst this Gatemen catcher core. See him work on that so often before games. Just down for ball 3 again, 3-1. It's just such a nice, fluid motion. The art of stealing strikes. This one banged out to left field and down, a base hit. 3-1 ambush from Ryan Weingartner. He's aboard. He turns the corner at first and heads back as White got that ball in quickly. 1 out knock for the Mariners' leadoff hitter.
Yeah, like you said, an ambush. Sitting fastball and 3-1 and turned around on that sucker.
That brings up Cade Curlin with a runner on first and 1 away. 2-1 Gatemen in the bottom of the third. So the art of stealing strikes. An art that could soon be dying, Kyle, with the advent of automatic balls and strikes that could find its way to the major leagues sooner rather than later.
Yeah, us baseball traditionalists, not fans of it.
O'Connor's first pitch to Cade Curlin is outside ball 1. Testing it in the minor leagues now, some affiliated indie ball leagues as well.
Middle days of the week, most minor leagues are doing every week automated zones.
This one chopped foul up the third baseline, 1-1. Well, that's where it all starts. That's where all these other Manfred-era rules begin. And soon enough find their way at the top. I think that one is going to take a little while longer, though, just because you have to perfect it. And it's such an imperfect technology. O'Connor spins and throws to first. Pickoff play not in time. Weingartner still at first base with 1 away. A 1-1 count to Cade Curlin.
Well, then it makes it so complicated, too, because you have to dig into the actual rhetoric of what is a strike.
I was just about to get into that, and that is such a can of worms right there. Runner goes. Pitch just inside. Throw down to second on 1 hop. Not in time. Weingartner swipes the bag. His 9th steal of the season. Head first dive ahead of Gerald's throw. So a runner in scoring position now for the Mariners with less than 2 outs. It's a 2-1 Wareham lead in the last of the third. You ask yourself, what is a strike? And you think, well, there's a batter's box, there's a strike box, and it just makes sense. You know, waist to shoulder, or waist to knees is what I meant to say. As the 2-1, Curlin skies it in the air out to right center field. Drifting over in the gap, Reese Chapman lines it up and makes the catch. Weingartner tags on his way to third. The throw there is just not in time. A good throw on a couple of hops to Murph Gray, who applied the tag, but Weingartner safe ahead of the throw on a head-first dive.
Well, that's hustle right there. I mean, not the easiest ball to make the move and tag on.
Like anything that clips the edge of the corner, a pitch that usually would be called a ball, by definition, in the rule book, because it hit the black, is a strike. And where do you draw that line, right?
Yeah, again, the rhetoric can be vague, no matter how specific you try and be.
And O'Connor fell off the mound on that delivery. It bounced to the plate for Gerald, so that's going to count as ball 1. O'Connor looks to be all right. He's now rearranging his pitching mound. Spike must have gotten caught. Weird way to have ball 1. Here's pitch number 2, and it sails up high, 2-0. Like I said, an imperfect technology that hopefully, with a whole lot of testing, a lot more testing before it gets implemented, and even then, we'll see. Game that's constantly evolving. Upstairs for ball 3. I mean, you think about the Cape League, one of the oldest collegiate baseball leagues in the country that's so bound by tradition, and yet, in an era where NCAA players are communicating with pitchcom devices, they've adjusted to the times. As there is a pitch inside, ball 4. Curlin draws the walk. Or check that. That is Daniel Dickinson drawing the walk. So first and third, 2 gone for Matt Scannell. Now Gerald with a mound visit here, and O'Connor tying his right shoe. And Eric Luxus is going to go out there and make a visit as well. And sure, let's have the entire infield join the party.
Well, while we're at it, I was looking up the actual major league parameters of a strike zone, and even just reading the parameters of a strike zone, it's so flawed because the top of the strike zone, the bottom of the strike zone is pretty easy, kneecaps. Top of the strike zone is the midpoint between the top of the batter's shoulders and the top of the uniform pants when the batter is in a ready stance to hit a pitch. That is two problems in that statement in and of itself. I mean, first of all, what if I'm just not wearing pants? What if I have pants down to my knees? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then on top of that, what if my ready stance is to simply be crouched down, in the fetal position? Then there is no strike zone.
You make a somewhat solid point there. Jesse, do you have opinions on this as well? Because we've got time to talk about it, and Jesse's just sitting right here.
I tell you what, as Jose Altuve makes all his money, as short as he is, a regular fastball to anybody else is at his eyeballs in the major leagues. So some guys that I've always found, the shorter, more stockier guys in the league that are hitters especially, have a better time with the strike zone getting on base because it's hard to pitch to them. But, overall, it's just, you prove a good point there, and some out-of-the-box thinking there by Kyle, but it's a flawed system, to say the least.
Okay. Shout out to our team analyst, Jesse Simmons, for his thoughts. We'll have him join the broadcast for real a couple of innings from now as Matt Scannell digs in. First and third, 2 away. Runner goes off of first. The pitch down, no throw down to second base. Dickinson swipes the bag. So eliminates the forced play. Now 2 men in scoring position for Harwich. The 2-1 Gatemen lead here in the last of the third, but one swing of the bat could flip things around. Scannell tripled and later scored an inning ago. The 1-0. Fastball called a strike up in the zone. That was perhaps a little bit generous there. I don't know if he was taking your advice there, Kyle.
I think it was above the midpoint between the batter's shoulders and pants.
By the book, Kyle Marchak, as always. The 1-1. And there is another high strike. At least he's consistent.
And then the midpoint's just an eyeball, too. I mean, they're just sitting there like, that's the midpoint.
That's the human element of this game that could quickly find its way out. O'Connor 1 strike away from getting out of it. The 1-2 off the plate outside. And a 2-2 count to the left-handed batter at the dish. Base hit could tie it or give Harwich the lead. O'Connor looking to work through this third inning jam. Both runners take their leads off second and third. The 2-2. Inside, Scannell turns away from it, and a full count. They do have first base open, but then Michael Anderson waiting in the wings. One of the better hitters in this Harwich order. O'Connor with the sign from Gerald. Here's the payoff. Outside, ball 4, he lost him. Back-to-back walks will bring Anderson to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 down.
Well, just not the guy you want up at the dish with the bases loaded.
The first baseman from Arkansas, number 39, Michael Anderson.
Anderson grounded out to O'Connor his first time through. But still, the numbers speak for themselves. He's left the yard 5 times this year, 5th in the league. He's tied for 7th in the RBI department, 16. First pitch to him. At the knees, a called strike. He challenged him right away. Scannell at first, Dickinson at second, Weingartner at third. 2-1 Gatemen in the bottom of the third inning. The bases juiced and 2 away. The 0-1. Anderson destroys. High and deep to left field. Sam White drifting over towards the wall. Makes the catch on the run. White runs it down for out number 3 and a sigh of relief for Griffin O'Connor, who fist bumps Jacob Gerald on his way to the dugout. The Mariners strand the bases loaded here in the third, and the Gatemen retain their 2-1 lead. Top of the 4th inning coming up from Whitehouse Field in Harwich on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Jesse Simmons.
I'm Sam White.
And this is Catching Up with the Gatemen. All right. Mr. Sam White.
Yes, sir.
West Virginia Mountaineers catcher infielder. It's good to have you today. Thank you for jumping on with me.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And so you had the chance to play for the Canadian Junior National Team.
I did.
Tell me a little bit about that, and you know, being able to represent your country and where your hometown, not only in your country but now in the U.S. at a Power 5 school and here in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the biggest honor I've ever had. I mean, representing Canada, I played Team USA, played Team Japan, Chinese Taipei, all that stuff. And I mean, like, that's the biggest honor you can have. I mean, every rep that I put in, you know, that was basically for my country.
Hockey.
Yes.
Was that your first love before baseball? You got drafted at one point, had a chance to maybe take a pro hockey career and go that way, but now you're at baseball. What was that like? And give me a little something about that hockey.
Yeah, I mean, hockey, like, that's where I met kind of my lifelong friends. I mean,
yeah,
like, obviously growing up in Canada, hockey is the sport that everyone plays. It was my first love. I mean, I started playing when I was 5 or 6 years old, like a couple years before I started playing baseball. And yeah, up until I was probably 13 or 14 years old, I was gonna go to the NHL, and that's what that's what I would tell myself.
Back here at Whitehouse Field, top of the fourth inning, a 2-1 Wareham lead, and taking you the way for the middle innings on play-by-play, here's Kyle Marchak.
Well, thank you very much, Ethan Eibe. You are so generous as the Gatemen look to make a generous lead out of what is a 2-1 advantage over the Harwich Mariners. Top four from Whitehouse Field, the Gatemen's second visit to this ballpark. Pass ball in the first, or in the second, the Gatemen plated their first run. Bottom two, a single by Jake Ogden tied it, and then Jacob Jarrell homered for the Gatemen to take the lead. First pitch from Bryson Bales, and that ball is crushed by Murph Gray out to left center field. It is off the top of the wall. Murph Gray by inches keeps it in the ballpark as he stands up at second on a first pitch double in the fourth.
Man, did he want home run number 4 or what? And he was just a couple of inches short of that. He'll take the leadoff double, but man, he got into that one.
If I screamed louder, the exhale of my breath would have pushed that ball out. It grazed the yellow lining on the top of the left center field fence. So one pitch in, and Bryson Bales has allowed his third hit of the afternoon. In a 2-1 advantage for the Gatemen, they've got a runner in scoring position, top four, no outs, and the lefty Reese Chapman at the dish. He walked aboard in his first at-bat. Bales twirls a curveball. It's in there for strike one. So a little bit of a pitcher's duel. Griffin O'Connor has rolled in his second start for the Gatemen, evaded a bases-loaded jam last half inning. 0-1 dealing. Swinging a grounder out to second. It 3 hops into the body of the second baseman. Curlin tossed the first is in time as Murph Gray moves to third.
Productive out there for Chapman, and Curlin's been tested quite a few times over at second base already today.
And here's Eli Putnam. Got aboard on a fielder's choice, stole second in the second inning, moved to third on a ground ball from Jace Reinhardt, who's on deck, and then scored on a wild pitch. So he's done the carousel today. Let's see if he can make it clean this time around. As Murph Gray stands 90 feet away as an insurance run for the Gatemen, who lead it by 1, just shy of midway through this contest. Bales deals. And a curveball misses way outside as Heyman had to pop out of his stance to snag that one. Don't want anything to roll to the backstop here.
Absolutely not. It's an abyss behind home plate.
Lefty on righty. And the deal to Putnam. Swing and a hammer out to left center field. This one's trouble again at the gap at the wall. It is out of here. A 2-run jack for Putnam. 5 pitches into the inning, and the Gatemen have 2 extra base hits. This time it's a big fly for Putnam, and make it a 4-1 ball game in the fourth.
I don't know what it is about the long ball in this inning. Gray and now Putnam deposits that one out for his third homer of the year, and wow, did he need that. Been 3 weeks since we've seen him go deep.
Putnam was a home run machine early this year. Had to fight for his re-cementation into the lineup. And in his third straight start, he goes yard. 4-1 Gatemen, and the first pitch is swung on and flown straight back for a foul ball. Here's Jace Reinhardt, and he's got a big fly this year as well, just a week ago. Four hits for the Gatemen now. 0-1 and the pitch. There's a roller out to short. Gobbling it up is Weingartner. Oh, the third baseman Ogden dove for it and threw to first. And trying to cut him off, he probably made the error there as the throw was late.
Doubt we'll see an error awarded on that play. But, yeah, Ogden electing to cut off Weingartner, trying to make the play himself. And probably would have been easier to let it go by and let the shortstop handle it. But Reinhardt will take it.
So Ogden elects to cut off his shortstop Weingartner, and it probably bites them as Jace Reinhardt singles aboard with one away. Runner on first, and Colby Turner, who's 0 for 1, is at the dish. First offer to the righty. And a backdoor curveball misses for ball 1. Gatemen with 2 homers in this ball game. 1-0. Swing and a fly ball. It's ranging over to the right side and out of reach. Foul ball for strike 1. So after a tough loss in yesterday's contest with the Brewster Whitecaps, where the pitching staff of the Gatemen allowed 4 home runs, here they are, a third of the way through this contest, and they've got 2 of their own as they're up by 3. The pitch swung on and lined out into right center field. Ranging over, fighting the sun, and making a striding catch is Maldonado as he snags out number 2. Staying on first is Reinhardt.
Now batting for Wareham, the DH from Louisville, number 15, Nate Early.
Now it's Nate Early's turn. 0 for 1, grounded to second. Gatemen 4th in the league in home runs produced. First pitch to the lefty out of Louisville, and he slaps that one the other way foul. Now Nate Early has got a home run to his credit this year. And it's his only RBI in 15 games. Now he has a chance to drive another one in with a runner on first, the 0-1. And a fastball's fed right down the middle. Called strike 2, a 91-mile-an-hour heater on the outside edge. Bale's ready, and the 0-2 to Early. Runner goes, it's a swing and a miss, so it does not matter. A strikeout to end the side, but Eli Putnam with his 3rd home run of the year plates 2 runs, and the Gatemen extend their lead over the Mariners. It is 4-1. Bottom 4 up next in the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. Welcome into our second edition of the Wareham Walk-Off. I'm Kyle Marchak, joined by an infielder for the Wareham Gatemen, Antonio Jimenez. You ready to roll?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Well, your new commitment. You're going to UCF now. How did that commitment come about?
Yeah, man. I just wanted to go somewhere where basically I had a good relationship with the coach, and it's always nice to stay home near my family. You know, it's only like 3 hours away, so I felt like I had a good connection with the coach. Just wanted like a nice fresh start, and you know, I'm just super excited for the new opportunity.
Well, we've got Mike Mobbs over there, barefoot, mowing the lawn right now. You said he's a very down-to-earth guy. He's the hitting coach for the Gatemen. Is he a part of why you went to Wareham too? Yes, for sure. I mean, once I got the call up here, one of my guys, Dorian Gonzalez, that played for here last year, he said, "Dan, you need to go up to Wareham, and they're gonna get you a lot better." Ever since I've been here, I mean, he's literally mowing the lawn right now, barefoot. Yeah, could we get a shot of that real quick? Look at him, inspirational. He just leads by example, and I can't ask for a better coach. Like, he's taught us everything that we know, and like, he literally just wants us to win, and we're all just bought in on winning. And yeah. You know, well, it must be working. You're on a 7-game on-base streak right now. So how have the coaches developed you as a hitter? Yeah, man. They just told me to just be have a better approach. I feel like I'm getting better out here every single day, getting more comfortable with them. Let's wrap it up with this. The end goal. What do we need to know about Antonio Jimenez going forward? Antonio Jimenez, I mean, just being the same guy every single day, getting better, like not only as a player but as a person. Right now, my focus is on today. We have a big game today. We're trying to build off that momentum from last game to bring it on to this game against Bourne. So
we're just super excited to play.
We'll catch you guys in our next edition of the Wareham Walk-Off.
Leading off the bottom of the fourth for Harwich, the third baseman from Miami, number 8, Jake Ogden.
Bottom 4 at Whitehouse Field. Wareham Gatemen's second visit to the Harwich Mariners in 2024, and they lead it 4-1. Griffin O'Connor from the full kicks and deals to the 6-hole hitter Jake Ogden. A fastball spiked in the dirt for ball 1. O'Connor rolling today as he manages a 3-run advantage now. 3 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, and a pair of strikeouts for a pitch-to-contact guy in his second start. As Jacob Jarrell will take a second behind the plate. So how about we reminisce on Jarrell and Putnam, the 2 home run hitters today. 5 hits for the Gatemen. Good to see the power bats back out, Ethan.
Absolutely, and especially for both of those guys in particular. Jarrell, who hadn't homered since his debut, and a similar drought for Eli Putnam, both about 3 weeks in between big flies. So great to see both of those guys specifically go deep and put a charge into this Gateman offense that definitely needs it. It was only 4 hits yesterday, an uncharacteristic last couple of ball games that have resulted in the Gatemen losing 3 of their last 4. Now Ryan Smythe to check on Jarrell.
But this is a team that loves to compete with offenses of a similar caliber, and that's pretty much Harwich's only strong suit. 3rd in the league in runs batted in, 5th in home runs, and today they've just out-hit them. 5-3 in that category. As now we reset. 1 ball and no strikes. First batter, bottom 4. And a fastball misses down and outside. Jake Ogden, back in the second, hit an RBI single to tie this game at 1 apiece. 2-0 deal. And fed to the chest protector for strike 1. So after Ogden hit that RBI single, he probably pulled up to first and thought, all right, we're back in this game. Well, 3 runs have been scored since. 2-1 is another fastball painted for strike 2. O'Connor quickly retoes the first base side of the rubber. Here's the 2-2. And a changeup is shoved into the dirt. Full count.
Sam Takoyan is warming up in the Harwich bullpen down the left field line. Right-hander.
And that's the part of this roster that Harwich has struggled with the most. Full count. Foul tipper straight back, staying alive is Ogden. I mean, look at yesterday specifically in their 16-8 loss. It was the bullpen that blew it. Full count offer coming. Curveball rolled foul.
11 runs allowed in the last 3 innings. Not pretty.
Brutal. So Harwich just can't seem to put the game in its entirety together in this 8-game losing streak. The 3-2 is cut on and missed. Strikeout number 3 for Griffin O'Connor. 1 away, bottom 4.
Now batting for Harwich, the left fielder.
Such an interesting arm action for O'Connor. He doesn't extend that arm all the way out in any direction. It's almost like a short-armed throw every time you see him.
Well, O'Connor knows that he is not your normal pitcher to have this level of success in the Cape Cod League. First offer, it's the 7-hole hitter, Tommy Barth, and he fouls that one straight back. He's pretty matter-of-fact about it. We met him right as he arrived. He was called on 48 hours notice, up from Worcester, drove down, and had a start against YD for his debut. The 0-1 a check swing. Did he go around? Yes, says the first base umpire, Chris Ainstrand. It's an 0-2 count quickly to Tommy Barth. Well, he had one heck of a start in his debut 6 days ago. 5 2/3, 1 earned run against YD. And he's rolling again here today. 0-2 on the way to Barth, just outside. And he said, well, I'm not a hard thrower, so I just pitched to contact. He was pretty matter-of-fact about it. But he's also humble.
He understands his mentality and what works for him. That's good.
1-2 curveball is inside out to the right side. Foul ball. So he told me immediately preceding the YD start, I don't know. I guess we'll see how that start goes. I'm nervous. Maybe I do bad.
Well,
he lied to us. 1-2 deal. Check swing and a high fastball. He didn't go around, and it levels to a 2-2 count. 2-2, he nods, kicks, and fires. And staying alive on another foul tipper is Barth. Now, the reason he told us that story about his mentality going into a debut is because he was debuting in the CCBL 2 summers ago and told all of his friends to tune in because it was on Madison. Said, guys, watch, I'm going to be on TV. Apparently, he did not play well. 2-2 on the way. And a grounder to the right side. It hugs the first base bag. Nice snag. Forehand side for Putnam as he grabs it and touches first in time for out number 2.
I believe the way he put it was he gave up a home run on the first batter he faced.
Yes, and it was a bomb.
Number 29, Luke.
So he said his mentality for debuts going forward is just to treat it like another game. And you know what? It feels like it is always just another day at the office for Griffin O'Connor. As he strolls around the mound, and now the 6'5" Luke Heyman will dig in. He's 0 for 1.
O'Connor said that sometimes friends will text him that home run video just to make fun of him.
That's right. And speaking of casual strolls, here's Eric Luxus coming out from the mound. Griffin O'Connor with a smile on his face, I think, is saying to himself, oh, come on, is my day done? So with 2 away here, bottom 4, they're having a chat with O'Connor. I don't think he wants to give up the baseball here, and maybe it is just a conversation. And it fits his attitude, because O'Connor hasn't had your normal journey in baseball either. 2 seasons with a D2 powerhouse in Worcester and Assumption, but has had his bout with injuries, so he still has 2 years of eligibility left, despite academically going into his graduate year. And I think he just talked himself out of being pulled.
I think that's exactly what just happened, because as soon as Luxus emphatically left the mound, you just saw O'Connor clap his hands to himself like he just won a court case.
Griffin O'Connor, you are the pitcher.
You are still the pitcher.
So with 2 away, bottom 4, O'Connor keeps himself in the ball game. Here's the first pitch to Heyman, and a curveball's hung upstairs for ball 1. It really did look like he just told Luxus, get away, but in a polite manner.
I mean, base is clear, 2 outs. Let the guy work.
1-0 off for a check swing, but it's a called strike on an off speed on the outside edge. 1-1 count.
What's the harm in one more batter, huh?
Gatemen lead it by 3. The 1-1 deal, swing and a miss, way out in front on a 75-mile-an-hour slider for strike 2. O'Connor grabs some rosin, retoes the first base side of the rubber. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 down. He gets the sign. Quickly, he rocker steps, kicks and deals a fastball, fouled away. Heyman just under it. And dials that one to 87, one of the harder pitches he's thrown today. O'Connor ready again. We'll try the 1-2 once more. On the way. Swing and a ball clubbed high into the air and playable in shallow left. Fighting the sun, the shortstop Jimenez. He grabs it, and it's a nice 1-2-3 side for O'Connor as he fights himself back into the game.
Case closed.
Absolutely. So while that case is closed, how about we open up another one as we toss it to our sideline reporter, Madison Walker, for more.
Thank you so much, Kyle. I mean, the Gatemen get run rolled, and they know how to respond. I love this already, all the home runs, but it's finally due time to talk about Jacob Jarrell again. We know he has power. We've obviously seen it earlier in the season with his home run. But we got another show today with that solo shot, 90 off the bat, 386 feet, and his family is actually in town right now at this game. His mom, sister, aunt, niece stopped by. Obviously, I had to go talk to them and talk about Jacob's bomb. They say they've been in town for a few days. They're actually leaving tomorrow. This is their last game. They're super stoked that they got to see this. They're going to be heading back to South Carolina. When I was talking to them, they told me that Jacob has been playing baseball, organized baseball, right, since he was 5. But when he was 3 years old, he would go into the cages with the older girls and go hit with them. I'm like, this guy was born to be a major league player. He's got to be, because that's some dedication. 3 years old in the cages, hitting off a tee. I mean, what are we doing? But family in town, solo shot, I love it. He needed that. You know what? It was due time for Jacob Jarrell, but as of now, I'm going to throw it back to my lovely broadcasters, Kyle and Ethan. What do you got for me?
That's what I'm saying, Madison. Wonderful stuff by the 3rd member of our crew. Yeah, when he hit that home run, we couldn't help but think that his family was here. here when we heard them.
Oh, we heard them loud and clear.
It was very, very clear. The bleachers to the right side here behind the opposing dugout, which is the good guys today. As the Wareham Gatemen do lead it 4-1. Jacob Gerald's home run was a solo shot back in the third. 2 runs came in on an Eli Putnam 2-run shot in the fourth to extend their lead. So as we enter the top of the fifth, the Gatemen do have a 4-1 advantage against the Harwich Mariners, as the Mariners will pull into the bullpen for the first time today. They grab a tall righty. It's number 36, Sam Tekoyan, out of the University of Mississippi. You said he was warming up at the bullpen. It's time for them to dip into it, and that's a part of the roster that, well, the Mariners have just not succeeded in too often recently.
Yeah, of course, we mentioned yesterday's ball game allowing 11 runs across the final 3 frames and a loss to Katuitt, but worst bullpen ERA in the league at this point in the season. It's been contributing quite a bit to this 8-game skid that Harwich is currently on, so let's see it with our own eyes today.
And what's up with this stretch of facing freaking power forwards on the mound? This kid at 6'5". And he's got good stuff as well. The righty out of Ole Miss.
Saw Ryan Ure yesterday, 6'8" for Brewster on the mound.
7.04 ERA. This is his 5th appearance, all out of the bullpen. But he's got 7 strikeouts with that firm fastball. Ethan, as you would say, a tall drink of water.
He has a tall drink of water.
He's going to face 9-1-2. Here's Gerald once again. 1-for-1 with a big fly, his second of the year. First pitch to Gerald on the way. Check swing on a fastball. It's a called strike. Antonio Jimenez on deck. Speaking of basketball, this kid tries to stay loose by playing other sports as well. 0-1 deal, a swing and a miss to Gerald. 0-2. Was chatting with Jimenez before the game. Like many players on the team, can juggle. Had 3 baseballs in hand earlier. Oh, 2 to Gerald on the way. Check swing and a high heat, and he didn't go around. 1-2. While Gerald's family was here today, Jimenez's family here yesterday, and the Gatemen lost at home. 1-2 deal to Gerald. Chasing a curveball low. It's a swing and a miss for strike 3. 1 away.
I always feel a little bit antsy, a little bit maybe higher pressure to perform with the relatives in house.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Now batting for Wareham, the shortstop from Central Florida, number 14.
Jimenez
Antonio
looked good
Jimenez.
yesterday in that abbreviated Mercy Rule contest. And other than being a ball player, talk to me about the versatility of wanting to juggle, learn other sports, and his list of aspirations in life outside of baseball. First pitch to Jimenez, and the right-handed bat out of UCF watches a called strike in the outside edge. If Jimenez were to dedicate his time to another sport or art, depending on who you ask, what do you think it would be, Ethan? The 0-1 is swung on and hammered out to right, but foul for strike 2.
Don't tell me Antonio Jimenez is an artist of some kind.
Well, if you consider salsa dancing an art, he told me he really, really wants to learn how to salsa. And I told him, I was like, Antonio, not to be super nice to you, but you are already light on your feet, so you might fit well into that sport.
Respect.
Here's the 0-2. And that ball fizzes upstairs for ball 1. 1 away, top 5. Gatemen in Harwich for the second time this year. And they lead it 4-1. Jimenez 0 for 2. And the pitch. Curveball skied in the air right above home plate. Finding the axis of that ball and squeezing the mid on it is the catcher Heyman for out number 2. So now it's Sam White's turn. Line out and a ground out.
The left fielder from West Virginia, number 33, Sam White.
Now, Sam White actually did play a different sport at a high level. First pitch to the left-handed bat out of West Virginia. And a backdoor slider misses. 1 ball, no strikes. High-level junior hockey player is a goaltender from Ontario. So many athletes on this team. 1-0 deal to him. Fastball swung on and clubbed the other way. It's in shallow left center field, ranging out Scannell, and it drops in between Weingartner and Barth. How about a bloop shot with 2 away, a single. First one at that for Sam White today.
Just found that no man's land right in between left field and shortstop. He'll take it for a 2-out knock. Yeah, on the topic of multi-sport athletes, that's something that people preach growing up, playing multiple sports, not sticking with just one, doing as much as you can in your youth.
And, it becomes kind of a redundant conversation as now Murph Gray digs in, and he fits that mold as well. 2 away, a runner on first, away half of the 5th at Whitehouse Field. And Murph today, 2 for 2, a single and a double. First pitch to the tall righty, and it runs up and in for ball 1. Scored 30 points in a high school basketball game once. Helps when you're 6'5". Sam Tikoyan ready in the 1-0 deal. He chases the changeup low, a swing and a miss, 1-1. Two away, top 5 here. As the shade now creeps into the entirety of the infield, and Tikoyan completely covered as he kicks and deals the 1-1. And the Heat is framed on the outside edge, but just off the dish, according to home plate umpire Jeff Kinney. And it's ball 2. Tikoyan from the stretch peeks over his left shoulder at first, now sets. He kicks in, lets the 2-1 fly. A curveball swung on and missed for strike 2. .5:30 p.m. first pitch today, so as that rush hour traffic has completely dimmed down here on the Cape, we see that the Whitehouse Field stands have filled up even more, just about midway through this contest. 2-2 with 2 down, and the deal to Murph Gray. Curveball swung on and hammered out to left field, but the wind knocks it down. Trotting in and making the catch is Barth for out number 3. 1 left stranded, and 4 batters is all it takes for Tikoyan in his first inning of relief. So we head to the bottom half of the 5th. Midway through this contest, the Gatemen lead it 4-1 over the Harwich Mariners on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Let's wind the clock back to those times. You were a pitcher at Wright State. Now tell me how you got the opportunity to go to Wareham and what that time was like for you.
Well, I had gone out for the Pan American team in '91 just to kind of get my face and name out there nationally. And I made the first couple of rounds of cuts. So all of a sudden, people started to take notice. When I was fighting, I wasn't going to make the team. I was a freshman coming out of Wright State, opened some eyes, but wasn't ultimately going to make the team. So when I get cut, I get a call from Alaska. The 2 top leagues, the number 1 was Cape Cod, and then the Alaskan League was a really good league too. But those were the 2 big ones. I got a call from Alaska. I got a couple calls from the Cape. I got a call from Wareham, and they said, we have a kid that's going back home, and would you be interested? I mean, they didn't even have to finish their sentence, and I was like, I'm packing. I'll be there as soon as I can get my 85 Ford Tempo on the road and up there. So,
did you enjoy that clip? Well, you can catch the rest of this episode and all episodes of Wareham Whip Around, the official podcast of the Wareham Gatemen, available now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Bottom 5 at Whitehouse Field in the Gatemen's second visit to the Harwich Mariners in 2024, and they look to continue a season sweep over them as they've won their first 2 contests. Kyle Marchak alongside Ethan Eibe on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Well, it's been a fun one so far. A 4-1 advantage for the Gatemen with 2 home runs today through the first 5 innings of offense. So as we send it to the bottom of the 5th, Gavin Black now will take over for Griffin O'Connor, who had a second consecutive wonderful start in his inaugural campaign with the Wareham Gatemen. 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts, and with 2 outs in that previous inning, he had to convince Eric Luxus to keep him in the game, so it all pays off. But now it's the Mississippi State Bulldog, Gavin Black's turn.
Well, Black might be the Bulldog on the mound right now, but that is what Griffin O'Connor was over those 4 innings, and especially there at the very end. That fires me up, and I'm just sitting over here behind the fence watching a guy saying, hey, I want this baseball. This is my batter. This is my inning. And then he went ahead and shut him down.
Well, Gavin Black can be a personification of adrenaline himself. First inning of relief for him. He kicks and deals, and the righty fires a fastball at 95, a called strike. First batter, the 9-hole hitter, Cam Maldonado. 279 hitter, but that'll tick down a little bit as he struck out looking back in the 3rd inning for his first at-bat. 0-1 deal. Black stands statuesque, kicks in, slings. Slider off the plate, ball 1.
Black with, I believe, the best ERA among relievers in the whole Cape League, .68. 13 1/3 innings, just 1 earned run allowed this year, and what should be his final outing.
His 8th appearance, and everyone's got an innings account. 1-1 deal on the way. In on the hands, that's ball 2. And you talk about a guy who is a dog. In a wacky accident 5 days ago, prepping the mound, an L screen that was protecting him during BP fell on his head. Sliced his head wide open, the 2-1, and a fastball is a called strike 2 to the leadoff here. In the bottom of the 5th, Cam Maldonado. He needed 5 staples to repair it. He was back at the field by the 2nd inning that night, ready to throw.
He was actually allowed to throw. Of course, he didn't in that game, but he could have if they needed him.
And I'm sure he wanted to. 2-2 deal to Maldonado, and he rolls over on an off-speed. As Harwich's third base coach, Mark Tebow, just watches it roll by him and into the bullpen, which is in the field of play down the left field line. Two balls, 2 strikes. Gavin Black from the stretch, shakes off a sign. Now he gets what he likes. Sets at the belt. Kicks in the 2-2 on the way. Swing and a fly ball sky high over the left side of foul territory. Charging is Gray. Reaches over, but that one doinks in between a triangle of players as it flies dead, and it remains a 2-2 count.
We're going to keep our eyes peeled. The MLB draft coming up in just a couple of minutes on ESPN. Plenty of Cape Leaguers expected to be picked this year.
338 former Cape Leaguers were on Major League rosters in 2023. That speaks for itself. And who knows how many are in front of us right now. Gavin Black can certainly be one of them. He's had a wonderful year and now looks for the first out at the bottom of the 5th. He sets in the 2-2 to Maldonado. Fastball just off the plate. Ton of important sporting events. Euros today. Over and across the pond. England lost to Spain in that one.
Darn it.
3-2 deal, and a fastball's fouled straight back. Staying alive is Maldonado.
I was not paying attention.
Well, I mean, how British really are you? Half?
50%.
Okay, I mean, that's technically a majority. For those who don't understand, we're talking about soccer now. But a full count to Maldonado, and Black delivers. Just off the plate, knee high. Maldonado works an 8-pitch walk to start off the bottom of the 5th for Harwich, who's down 3 here, midway through the contest. So it's back to the top of the order. Ryan Weingartner is 1 for 2.
Ryan Weingartner.
Well, not a good start. If Maldonado can walk aboard, Weingartner certainly can. Leads the team with 18 on the year. Also a team best .432 on base percentage. So 1 duck on the pond as Black kicks and delivers to the righty at the dish. Curveball low. Ball 1. One ball, no strikes, couple of toe taps. He curls and unfurls. Swung on and fouled straight back. That's strike 1. Little toss over to first and picked out of the dust by Putnam, but not in time as he checks on the runner Maldonado over at first. Harwich, team to worry about on the bases. 43 stolen this year. That's good for fourth. 1-1 pitch out in front and tipping that one straight back for strike two is Weingartner at the dish. 1-2 count, no outs here in the fifth. Gatemen up 4-1. Black sets at the belt, deep breath and a pitch. Swinging a grounder at 3 hops into the body of Grays. He charges. Forehand grab, throw across the body, and Putnam can't handle the low throw. Sneaking into first with an infield single is Weingartner. 2 runners aboard to start the bottom of the fifth for Harwich.
It's a tough play on both ends. Gray charging in, feeling that one off balance, throw across his body. It was a bit low, but that's one that Putnam will tell you he should have been able to pick, and unfortunately wasn't able to get it done there.
So an inauspicious start to the bottom of this fifth inning. Cade Curlin now digs in. He's 0 for 2, pair of flyouts to center and to right. After a walk from Maldonado, a single from Weingartner, and Curlin has 2 ducks on the pond here. And Harwich's 4th hit of the afternoon on that little doinker to third base. Another righty in a squatted stance this time as he crowds the dish. And the pitch is cut on and missed from Curlin. No balls, 1 strike. He curls and deals, and it's a swing and a line drive curling down the left field line. It drops in for a base knock. Rounding third, the lead runner, Maldonado. He gets the stop sign late and returns back to third base. Back-to-back singles after a leadoff walk, and now the bases are juiced with no outs.
Not ideal for Gavin Black or the Gatemen. No opportunity for Sam White to make a Superman-style catch on that one.
Yeah, the outfield has been reputable to say the least. But Daniel Dickinson digs in with the bases juiced. The 3-hole hitter, 0 for 1 today. He lined out to Sam White on that wonderful play that White had out there back in the first inning. Then he walked in the second. In the inning that Harwich plated their only run. So the first pitch, swing and a little flip up to the right side. It pops in the air, and Putnam is there to make the catch.
Not what Harwich was looking for there, but a huge out number 1 for Black.
Just handcuffed him. So they turn it over to the cleanup hitter with 1 down, bases juiced, and the left-handed Matt Scannell digs in. He tripled in the second, walked aboard in the third. Crowds the dish as his left toe touches the chalk. Black is ready in the first pitch. Off speed low for ball 1. (1-0) on the way. And the heater's over for a strike. Well, if Black can get out of this, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen a pitcher delve through a bases-loaded jam. Griffin O'Connor did it back in the third. Flag flapping in the wind. It points out to left field. And the pitch to the lefty at the dish. Backdoor curveball just misses. And it's ball 2. You'd imagine Black has to go with the heater here. Tucks the ball behind his hip as he peers in for the sign from the stretch. He sets in the 2-1 on the way. And a fastball's just off the outside part of the plate for ball 3. Black in a real jam now. Bases juiced, 3 balls and 1 strike with 1 away, bottom 5. Gatemen lead it 4-1, but it's Harwich's cleanup hitter at the dish. Black ready, and the 3-1 on the way. Swinging a line drive out to left center field. White dives and makes a spectacular catch. And he tosses back to second for a double play. Unbelievable. Now, does the run score on that play to retire the side is the question.
That run should not score.
And I don't think they're going to cross it off the plate. So the umpires are going to meet, but Sam White, to finish the inning on a line drive, doubles off the runner after a spectacular catch at second. It is his second spectacular play of the game.
He's cementing that Superman nickname right about now. What a soaring play that was to rob Scandal of extra bases and keep this game a 3-run deficit for Harwich.
We'll keep it here as we watch a meeting of the blue jerseys right now. Jeff Kenny, Chris Engstrand, and Jacob Ashworth, the 3 umpires, all chatting. And they wave the sign safe, which I'm not sure necessarily means anything, as I haven't seen an extra run put on the board. All right, so that is going to be it. It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it is Super Sam. Sam White with another fantastic play. We'll step aside for half a minute and come back as the Gatemen maintain a 4-1 lead. Top 6 up next.
PC is a Massachusetts-based leading-edge real estate closing, title, settlement, and personal injury and litigation law firm. Our clients trust us to provide the most comprehensive real estate closing and litigation services in Massachusetts. Our full network of closing and settlement attorneys, agencies, and litigators have expanded throughout New England and beyond. We deliver on that trust and reliance by offering the best professional prompt assistance, advanced technology, and state-of-the-art closing services in the real estate law and litigation business today. Our commitment to excellence, honest reputation, and tradition of aggressive representation to provide quality legal services is what we will continue to demonstrate at Sync Law. We believe and will prove that successfully addressing client needs requires more than just knowledge of the law. It requires a mastery of good representation and an attitude to finalize every transaction to my client's satisfaction. Live life to the fullest and let us Sync Law.
Gavin Black comes in for relief in the bottom of the 5th and a 4-1 score. Gets in a bases-loaded jam, and a line drive to left field on a spectacular play is caught by Sam White. He doubles off the runner at second in that bases-loaded jam, and somehow they come out unscathed. So it's still 4-1 good, guys, as we enter the top of the 6th in the Gatemen's second visit to Harwich in 2024.
I mean, Sam White, what a day. What can't he do?
Not much, considering he plays everywhere, and a spectacular left field today. First pitch in the second inning of relief from Sam Takoyan, and an 86-mile-an-hour heater is outside for ball 1. The cleanup hitter, Reese Chapman, for the Gatemen at the dish. Walked in the second and grounded out to second back in the 4th. He's got Putnam on deck. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a foul. 1-1.
I think that just epitomizes this losing streak right now for Harwich that sits at 8 games. They get opportunities like this and just unable to cash in. And, you know, it stings even more when you see a play like that, trying to break through and get back in this ball game, and Sam White said, no, sir.
Takoyan ready, and the tall righty deals the 1-1. Outside, ball 2. So that's Sam White's second diving catch of the day, both in a very Superman-esque fashion. You a comic book fan at all?
Yeah, I can read some comic books from time to time. My dad has a pretty big collection.
Okay. 2-1 deal to Chapman. Swinging a hammer down the right field line, but it is foul. He got all of that one, but it's just a loud strike 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. First batter of the 6th inning as the Gatemen are up by 3. Takoyan from the full to pitch. Curveball swung on and smoked out to left center. Giving chase is Scannell. He makes a leaping grab as he trots to that one for out number 1. Well, we've seen some home runs today, too, for the Gatemen as they have this 6-hit, 4-run ball game on their offense. But for every home run, we've also seen lineouts.
Yeah, plenty of hard hit balls today, left, right, and center.
Eli Putnam, that second home run hitter, a 2-run shot back in the 4th. He's 1 for 2. First pitch to him. Off speed in there. Strike 1. Putnam, with 20 games under his belt, was a mainstay in the lineup up until this week. Fought his way back into the starting role as the 0-1 is down low into the dirt. 1-1. And now in his 3rd straight start has rediscovered a rhythm at the dish. .279 hitter. And he has 4 hits in his last 3 games. 1-1 in the pitch. Foul tip, strike 2. Sam Tikoyan. Third inning of relief now. And he kicks and slings it. Curveball upstairs and inside as it brushes him off the dish. 2-2 count now. Tikoyan ready. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away, and the pitch is swung on and popped to the right side. Out of play. Tikoyan so far, just 1 hit allowed. No earned runs to his credit. He's got a strikeout. He turns and deals the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with the off speed as he pulls the string on Putnam. It's his second strikeout and out number 2 of the 6th.
Now batting for Wareham, the right fielder, West Virginia, number 20.
Just 4 strikeouts for Harwich this afternoon. Exemplary of where they've struggled, mainly in the bullpen. 2 up, 2 down for Tikoyan here in the 6th. As the Gatemen do lead it by 3, it's a 4-1 score. And Jace Reinhardt digs in, he's 1 for 2. Rocker step, kick, and a deal. First pitch, a ball. One 1-0 with 2 down. As the MLB draft is going on as well. 1-0 fastball swung on and just missed as it's tipped straight back. Souvenir for the kids for strike 1.
And wouldn't you know it, the Cape League MVP the year ago, Travis Bazzana, goes first overall to Cleveland.
Second baseman out of Oregon State. They've had some high draft picks recently, both the Cape and Oregon State. 1-1 deal. Swinging a line drive, just foul as he hooks a curveball down the left field line. Reinhardt turns too early on that one for strike 2. The best part is, if the kid gets drafted and he didn't play in the Cape League, it's because he just skipped them all in its entirety. They must have had a really good year and then just joined Team USA.
That's the exact case of Jack Caglione.
1-2. And a fastball high, 2-2. Another high draft pick in this projected mock draft this year as the MLB June Amateur Draft just begins is Charlie Condon. He did the same exact thing. Played in the Northwoods, and then last summer was on Team USA. Didn't even get a chance to play in the Cape, and he sure would have. 2-2 with 2 down. Swing and a miss, chasing the changeup as Reinhardt as Tikoyan gets his 3rd strikeout, and the Gatemen are down in order in the top of the 6th. Bottom 6 in just a moment. Gatemen lead it by 3 in the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Jesse Simmons.
I'm Sam White.
And this is Catching Up with the Gatemen. All right. Mr. Sam White.
Yes, sir.
West Virginia Mountaineers, catcher infielder. It's good to have you today. Thank you for jumping on with me.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And so you had the chance to play for the Canadian Junior National Team.
I did.
Tell me a little bit about that, and you know, being able to represent your country and where your hometown, not only in your country but now in the U.S. at a Power 5 school and here in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the biggest honor I've ever had. I mean, representing Canada, I played Team USA, played Team Japan, Chinese Taipei, all that stuff. And I mean, like, that's the biggest honor you can have. I mean, every rep that I put in, you know, that was basically for my country.
Hockey.
Yes.
Was that your first love before baseball? You got drafted at one point, had a chance to maybe take a pro hockey career and go that way, but now you're at baseball. What was that like? And give me a little something about that hockey.
Yeah, I mean, hockey, like, that's where I met kind of my lifelong friends. I mean,
yeah,
like, obviously growing up in Canada, hockey is the sport that everyone plays. It was my first love. I mean, I started playing when I was 5 or 6 years old, like a couple years before I started playing baseball. And yeah, up until I was probably 13 or 14 years old, I was gonna go to the NHL, and that's what
right.
that's what I would tell myself.
39, Michael.
Home half of the sixth from Harwich on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Wareham Gatemen looking to get back in the win column, and man, are the Mariners looking to do the same. They're on an 8-game losing streak, and it could be 9 as they're down 4-1, bottom of the sixth. Gavin Black, first one out of the bullpen for Wareham, and it's his second inning of relief. First pitch, and it's a called strike to the tall righty Michael Anderson, the leading power bat of this Mariners offense. He's 0 for 2, ground out and a line out.
It's not without trying for Harwich. They've left the bases loaded twice today.
0-1, and that one runs inside. 7 left on base total for the Mariners. Last inning for Gavin Black, he got helped out by his buddy Sam White out and left. A spectacular line drive, diving catch, double play. As the 1-1 is swung on and missed, 1 and 2, to strand those base runners in that jam.
And it was interesting because the runner at third tagged and was heading home, and the third out on the double play at second base was recorded before the runner touched home, so they did not award the run.
1-2, first batter, bottom 6. He kicks and slings, and it's down low for ball 2. Meanwhile, the MLB June Amateur Draft still rolling here. First pick is in, and a whole bunch of Cape League alumni on the board. 2-2 deal. Swing and a miss. Got him with the curveball. First punchy for Gavin Black today, and there's one down.
We're good to see Gavin Black start this inning on a positive note. It was a rough fifth inning for him. Got knocked around a little bit, walked a guy, but of course the defense paid dividends.
One down. And they turn it over to a dirty jerseyed Jake Ogden. And the first pitch is line just fouled on the first base line.
Oh my God.
0-1 as we've got some members of the crew reacting to the fact that Chase Burns, the right-handed pitcher out of Wake Forest, was just drafted instead of Caglione as the second pick to the Reds. 0-1 with one down. Here's the pitch to Ogden, and that one skips to the backstop for ball 1.
I promise you I'm still locked in on this game, but forgive my split attention. I need to know where the best Gator baseball player in history is going to end up.
One ball, one strike, and one down. And the deal. Just upstairs and outside.
Rockies have the next pick. Could you imagine CAG bombs in Denver?
Yeah, I mean, that's some video game stuff right there.
Like he needs the help.
Two and one with one down. And the pitch to Ogden on the way. That's down low as an overcast has quickly overcome the skies here in Harwich. Lights turned on a 5:30 p.m. first pitch. We're just shy of 2 hours in, and we're in the bottom of the sixth. Slow working game today, and Ogden, after his RBI single in the second, is all muddied up too. The 3-1 pitch to him. At the knees, it's just too low for Jeff Kinney to call, and it's another walk, second one allowed by Black today.
The left fielder from Kansas, number 15.
With one out, a runner on for Tommy Barth. The 7-hole hitter's 0 for 2. Barth has been Steve Englert's guy at the bottom of the order. 305 hitter. He's got a home run. Reaches base 42.4% of the time. Seen as a RBI spark plug towards the bottom of the order, and a first pitch off speed is at the letters for ball 1. Now Jacob Gerald's going to go have a chat. Well, while we take a peek at the MLB June Amateur Draft, with some Cape League action going on here, I went and did my own research because you can't help but notice the trend in all ball players in the flow that's been growing on their heads recently. So the word is, and it's all hearsay, back in the mid-1900s, it all started because of, well, as you've noticed, superstitions.
Yeah.
If a player has a mustache or grows out long hair and they play well, they just keep it. We've seen that a couple of times on this team as well. 1-0 deal. And a heater's in there for a strike 1. 1-1 count to Tommy Barth. He's got a runner on first as the Gatemen lead it 4-1. Bottom 6 here in Harwich. For Gavin Black, he had a haircut that he didn't necessarily want to get. because of that injury we mentioned earlier this season. The 1-1 is outside for ball 2 when he split his head open on that wacky accident with the L screen earlier this week. But he's still rocking the normal burst fade, which triangulizes towards the back of his head and this like taper on the side of his head. Still got the mustache, though. Don't worry about that. 2-1, the runner goes, and it's fouled off. 2-2 count with 1 away.
I would have been worried if he had to lose the mustache.
That would have stank. Now, facial hair is a whole other trend, historically, of masculinity, too. I heard a story one time that it was something designed, or at least grown back in the day, as a feat of strength, as a pickoff over to first does nothing. And it carried over to male sports in the United States because of that culture brought over from across Europe. Isn't that weird?
Would you like to talk to the New York Yankees about this?
Yeah, I guess the Yankees don't believe in that, but at the same time, they're not playing that well. As the 2-2 swung on, rolled over, a diving stop by Murph Gray, pops up to his feet, throw to first is not in time. Beating that one out is Tommy Barth for an infield single.
Again, a terrific effort there by Murph Gray, dirtying up that Navy Gatemen jersey, but just a bit behind the runner.
Now batting for Harwich, the catcher from Florida, number 29.
So now it's Luke Heyman. His buddy might get drafted any second now as the Rockies are on the clock for the third MLB June Amateur Draft pick of 2024. Two runners on, and the Florida Gator Luke Heyman digs in as he's 0 for 2, and his team's down 3 in the bottom of the 6th. Black kicks and fires. Fastball at the chest protector. It's a called strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. And the pitch is down low. 1-1. Black ready as he sets at the belt. 1-1. Runs inside. And that's ball 2. Now Charlie Condon picked as the 3rd pick overall in the draft. Infielder out of Georgia.
And a Falmouth Commodore last year.
Once again, another Cape League alumni. 1st and 3rd picks of this year's draft. 2-1 with 1 away. He kicks and slings, and Black gets a strike on the outside edge. Two count to Heyman. He's got 2 runners on with 1 away. Home half of the 6th, and the Mariners down 3. Black with a deep breath. He kicks in, lets it rip. Just low and inside, and off-speed misses front door. So it runs to a full count. 3-2 now. Black ready as he's battling away against Luke Heyman. And the pitch swung on and skied high into the air. It's towards the center side of infield, and the shortstop Jimenez will snag it. 2 away. So in a slow-paced inning, as the Gatemen lead it by 3. It's Cam Maldonado digging back in. He walked in the 5th. Before that, a strikeout looking. 0 for 1 at the dish today. And again, all important ABs, but Harwich unable to capitalize. They've left the bases loaded twice. And now, once again, this time with 2 down, it's Maldonado at the dish, representing the tying run in the bottom of the 6th. Gavin Black twists and turns the pitch. A curveball swung on and hit well. Out to left center field. Ranging over in the gap is Chapman. He looks up, and that one is off the base of the wall. 2-run score, and pulling up to second with a 2 RBI double is Maldonado. Just like that, with 2 away and 1 crack of the bat, it's a 1-run ball game. 4-3. Gatemen still lead it by a run.
Well, you knew something had to break at some point in this ball game, but unfortunately it just happened there to Gavin Black. Harwich has been stacking up those opportunities here. It was only a matter of time before something went their way in this 8-game losing streak. But now they come up here with a tying run in scoring position.
So through 8 appearances, Gavin Black gives up his 2nd and 3rd earned runs of the year. That's it. So his job will be done as Eric Luxus strolls out to the mound, and Gavin Black's 1 2/3 are behind him as he gives up a 2-run, 2-out double. We'll step away for a second, let you know who the arm is when we come back from this pitching change on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
When you need to be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
Back from a pitching change as Gavin Black's day is done. He gives up a 2-out, 2 RBI double to make it a 1-run ball game here in the bottom of the 6th at Harwich. So it's a 4-3 score, and Jacob Faulkner, the right-handed submariner from Princeton, will make his 8th appearance for the Gatemen this year. He's had good stuff so far, Ethan, a 3.18 ERA and 11 1/3 innings credit.
Yeah, just 4 earned runs allowed all year long. Always gives the Gatemen a different look out of the bullpen, and he seems to always make his appearances in the middle of innings as well.
Well, the Gatemen haven't scored in 2 innings. They did most of their stuff early with an RBI knock in the 2nd, a run in the 3rd, and then a 2-run jack back in the top of the 4th. On the other side, it's been kind of a sandwich today. 1 run in the 2nd for Harwich, but then that 2-run double, their other dose of runs plated today. So more in 1 effort for Harwich offensively as they bring it back within 1 run on 7 hits as opposed to Wareham's 6 on the year. So Faulkner will take over. He's the 2nd one out of the bullpen for Wareham today. Griffin O'Connor got the start. Gavin Black got through 1 2/3, and he's responsible for the runner on 2nd. With 2 down in the bottom of the 6th, Ryan Weingartner, the batter. Faulkner kicks and delivers. It's a called strike. Throw down the 3rd on the runner going, and the tag is in time. Jacob Jarrell says, let's get Faulkner out of here quick. On 1 pitch, he gets another caught stealing. It's his 3rd of the year. And for more fun in this contest, how about we toss it over to our 3rd member of the crew? It's Madison Walker.
Thank you so much, Kyle. So, getting a little too close for my liking, but I kind of want to talk about a defensive player right now, Sam White. I mean, he hasn't been hitting the home runs and everything that we've seen today, but wow, he has shown his athleticism out there today. Like back in, what was it, bottom of the 1st, deep left field, he made that catch, and then we saw that amazing double play, literally just by him, the jumping catch, throw into 2nd, 2 outs, run didn't count. I mean, that was so, I don't think I've seen anything more athletic this season, you guys. Sam White. And I talked to him before the game. He had an off day yesterday, which he rarely gets because he plays so many different positions, but he hasn't played 3rd. I asked him about that. He said he really wants to. Regardless, he said yesterday it was really good to have rest mentally and physically. He's really excited to be kind of back in the swing of things today. But having rest days when you're not used to playing this much, he said it's so great. And they're so hard to come by, especially when he can play so many positions. And we see him in so many places. He said if Murph doesn't stop hogging third base, he'd love to take it. But I don't know, Murph looks pretty good there. So I was like, Sam, just stick to what you know. Let Murph have third. Come on. You don't be greedy. You play everything else. But whatever. I'm going to throw it back to you guys. You can give some input on that.
Thanks, Madison. And as Sam White has flexed his utility, how about we flex ours, Ethan? It's up to you to take us through the rest of the game. The one and only Ethan Eibe.
Well, thank you very much, Kyle Marchak. As we go to the top of the 7th inning, and it's now a brand new ball game here after that 2-run double with 2 outs against Gavin Black off the bat of Cam Maldonado. So the Gatemen with just a 1-run advantage here. Entering the top of the 7th, it's a 4-3 score. Gatemen looking for their 3rd win against Harwich this year and their 2nd at Whitehouse Field. Earlier this month, they got it done 4-0 here in Harwich and defeated Harwich 6-3 on their own home turf just a couple of weeks before that. Colby Turner to get things started. He'll be followed by Nate Early and Jacob Jarrell. Still Sam Takoyan on the mound as Turner flips the first pitch foul for strike 1. 4 runs on 6 hits for the Gatemen, and 7 hits, 3 runs tallied up today for Harwich. As they look to escape the cellar, they have lost 8 consecutive ball games here, but give them credit, they've shown their fight today. Tall right-hander ready, the 0-1 pitch. Turner watches ball 1. Takoyan, just like the rest of his teammates, rocking the stirrups. Navy blue stirrups, red and white stripes, contrasting with those cream jerseys the Mariners are sporting tonight. 1-1. Hits Turner. Off speed. Got him in the left shoulder. He'll flip over his elbow guard and shin guard and head down to first base. Leadoff man aboard for the Gatemen.
All right, well, we'll take it. I mean, after bringing them back within reach, I think the Gatemen will try and pile up base runners here.
Now it's a ball game, folks. And here's Nate Early. 0 for 2 to this point. Ground out to second and a strikeout. He's got enough pop to leave the yard. The first pitch sails high above the zone for ball 1. Takoyan's in his 3rd inning of relief. He's done well. Just 1 hit allowed over 7 batters. Takoyan looks at first, now comes set. The 1-0 delivery. Again, way too high for ball 2. Michael Anderson holding on the runner at first. The 2-0 coming. Is fouled into the chest protector of Heyman. So 2-1 count to Nate Early. And Tate McGuire's good friend, Hagen Smith, was just selected 5th overall by the Chicago White Sox out of Arkansas.
Good friend and a mentor, really.
2-1 on the way. Early gets a piece, fouls it back. It's 2-2. Remember Tate McGuire telling the story about how Hagen Smith really mentored him his freshman year at Arkansas. So great to see him go so high in the draft. So dominant this year for the Razorbacks, left-hander. Turner off of first. Throw over. He's back safely. It's a 4-3 Gateman lead. Nobody out. And a runner on first in the top of the 7th inning. Takoyan ready. Ball and glove neck high. Has his signs at the 2-2. Again fouled back. Early battling up there. Just hasn't been able to square anything up.
Well, we know when he does square a ball up, it can go a long way. If he keeps batting away, he gets the pitch that he likes. That would help them out big time.
Half of his hits this season have been for extra bases. 6 of the 12. 2-2 again. Curveball misses outside to the left-handed batter and a full count. Kobe Turner making his way off the first base bag. Not a huge stolen base threat, only one this summer. Payoff pitch. And Early cracks this one high and deep to right field, heading into foul ground. This ball is caught, or is it? It is a foul ball. Hard to tell in the corner, so it's still 3-2 to Early. It's all the way in that right field corner. Maldonado pursued it. So Early will get another chance here. Just a couple of steps off of first base for Turner. Decoyan ready. Fires the payoff. Checks his swing. The ball is dropped. It is strike 3. Turner was on the move with the pitch, and he swipes second. It's an awkward strikeout, though, for Early.
Yeah, Early was turning around, I think maybe thinking off speed, and tried to hold his swing, but his full body was turned around at that point.
Fourth strikeout for Decoyan. Runner at second now, so a man in scoring position for Jacob Jarrell. He's already homered tonight. 386 feet out to left center field. He's back in the third inning. Second homer of the year. The pitch, wave and a miss at a slider up. Right-hander looks at second. Turner dancing off the bag in the 0-1. Popped him up. Foul ground, right side. In pursuit of this one, Anderson towards the dugout, and it hits the netting right above and to the left of the Gatemen dugout. So 0-2 the count.
Yeah.
Turner gets off of second again. Oh, 2 coming. Wave and a miss. Jarrell out in front of the breaking ball. Back-to-back strikeouts for Decoyan. 5 on the night. 2 gone in the 7th.
Now batting for Wareham, the shortstop.
Last over for the Gatemen here in this frame is Antonio Jimenez. Jimenez at the top of the order today. He's 0 for 3. He's got a runner in scoring position. It's only a 1-run game. 4-3 Gatemen, 2 gone in the 7th. First pitch to him, a called strike.
Yeah, no shit.
Jack Caglione is a Kansas City Royal.
There you go.
How about that? 0-1 pitch. Fouled straight back. 0-2 the count now to Jimenez. One of the highest drafted Florida Gators in history as the ball boys fight after that foul ball. Okay.
So much going on right now.
Cags is getting drafted. Ball boys are fighting. All heck is breaking loose. Gatemen are up by 1.
No, not yet. Crazy.
0-2. Jimenez wave and a miss. Strike 3. Gatemen put up a 0 here in the top of the 7th. Turner stranded on second after the leadoff hit by pitch. It's time to stand and sing here at Whitehouse Field. And a 4-3 advantage for the Gatemen over the Harwich Mariners on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Welcome into our second edition of the Wareham Walk-Off. I'm Kyle Marchak, joined by an infielder for the Wareham Gatemen, Antonio Jimenez. You ready to roll?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Well, your new commitment. You're going to UCF now. Did that commitment come about?
Yeah, man. I just wanted to go somewhere where basically I had a good relationship with the coach, and it's always nice to stay home near my family. You know, it's only like 3 hours away, so I felt like I had a good connection with the coach. Just wanted like a nice fresh start, and I'm just super excited for the new opportunity.
Well, we've got Mike Mobbs over there, barefoot, mowing the lawn right now. You said he's a very down-to-earth guy. He's the hitting coach for the Gatemen. Is he a part of why you went to Wareham too? Yes, for sure. I mean, once I got the call up here, one of my guys, Dorian Gonzalez, that played for here last year, he said, "Dan, you need to go up to Wareham, and they're gonna get you a lot better." Ever since I've been here, I mean, he's literally mowing the lawn right now, barefoot. Yeah, can we get a shot of that real quick? Look at him, inspirational. He just leads by example, and I can't ask for a better coach. Like, he's taught us everything that we know, and like he literally just wants us to win, and we're all just bought in on winning. And yeah. Well, it must be working. You're on a 7-game on-base streak right now. So how have the coaches developed you as a hitter?
Yeah, man. They just told me to just be have a better approach. I feel like I'm getting better out here every single day, getting more comfortable with that.
Let's wrap it up with this. The end goal. What do we need to know about Antonio Jimenez going forward?
Antonio Jimenez, I mean, just being the same guy every single day, getting better, like not only as a player, but as a person. Right now, my focus is on today. We have a big game today. We're trying to build off that momentum from last game to bring it onto this game against Bourne, so we're just super excited to play.
We'll catch you guys in our next edition of the Wareham Walk-Off.
The shortstop from Penn State.
To the bottom of the 7th we go from Whitehouse Field here in Harwich. It's a 4-3 lead for the Wareham Gatemen as they look to get back to their winning ways. Dropped yesterday's ball game at home to Brewster, lost 3 of their last 4. They are out in front. As this one misses down from Jacob Faulkner, ball 1. Faulkner only threw 1 pitch in his relief appearance in the previous inning, and a stolen base, or caught stealing, I should say, of Cam Maldonado got him out of it. He took over for Gavin Black. 1-0 deal. Misses off the plate outside to Cade Kurland. Kurland out of the University of Florida. Wonder if he's been told that Cags has been picked.
Maybe he took a peek at his phone.
2-0 delivery. Fisted on the ground, left side. Charging in Jimenez, throw to first. They got him there. It's actually Ryan Weingartner who was out there. Now Cade Kurland will bat.
And that is a wonderful play by Jimenez. I mean, when you're charging on a ball like that, you have so much momentum carrying you towards the right side of first base from their perspective to readjust your body and get that throw off fast and in time. Not an easy thing to do.
It's like he's walking on water out there at shortstop. So here is Cade Kurland. 1 for 3 tonight. Chops one foul at the plate. It's a 4-3 Gateman lead here over Harwich. Runs in the early innings, 1 each in the second and the third. They scored twice in the fourth. Meanwhile, Harwich won in the first. They put up 2 in the sixth to make this a 1-run game. 0-1 delivery. Kurland pops it up. That'll head foul down the side.
Then Burns. Burns went 2. Sunday went 3. Went 4.
Faulkner into the crouch, the 0-2. Fouled back. We'll do it again.
Okay, Cardinals just took JJ. They just took JJ.
Wait, that's a big...
I think he's actually there.
Righty against righty. Faulkner ready to deal again to Kurland. His 0-2 is driven in the air out to right field. Going after it, Reinhardt towards the gap. Still flying, and it's the center fielder, Reese Chapman, who climbs in there and makes the catch.
Now batting for Harwich, the DH from LSU.
A big outfield,
3,
big gaps.
Danny Dickinson.
But they've done their job well out there in the outfield today.
So a couple of quick outs here in the 7th for Faulkner. He'll deal with Daniel Dickinson next out of Utah Valley, the DH.
He's on there right now talking.
First pitch misses outside to Dickinson. And speaking of West Virginia Mountaineers, Reinhardt and Sam White's teammate, J.J. Weatherholt, just went 7th overall to the St. Louis Cardinals. So good stuff there. The 1-0 delivery. Waist high, called a strike. Faulkner looking for a 1-2-3 7th in this 1-run game. It's a 4-3 Gateman advantage. One deal. catches the outside corner. And a wave and a miss. On strike 3, Faulkner. A nice inning in relief after only throwing one pitch in the previous half inning. He gets them done here in the 7th. Sends us to the 8th inning from Whitehouse Field, a 4-3 Gatemen lead on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Let's wind the clock back to those times. You were a pitcher at Wright State. Now tell me how you got the opportunity to go to Wareham and what that time was like for you.
Well, you know, I had gone out for the Pan American team in '91 just to kind of get my face and name out there nationally. And I made the first couple of rounds of cuts. So all of a sudden, people started to take notice. When I was fighting, I wasn't going to make the team. I was a freshman coming out of Wright State, opened some eyes, but wasn't ultimately going to make the team. So when I get cut, I get a call from Alaska. The two top leagues, the number one was Cape Cod, and then the Alaskan League was a really good league too. But those were the two big ones. I got a call from Alaska. I got a couple calls from the Cape. I got a call from Wareham, and they said, we have a kid that's going back home, and would you be interested? I mean, they didn't even have to finish their sentence, and I was like, I'm packing. I'll be there as soon as I can get my 85 Ford Tempo on the road and up there. So,
did you enjoy that clip? Well, you can catch the rest of this episode and all episodes of Wareham Whip Around, the official podcast of the Wareham Gatemen, available now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Back to action here in the top of the 8th inning from Harwich. Gatemen maintaining a slim lead over the Harwich Mariners on this Sunday evening. 4-3 our scores. We go to the top of the 8th inning. It'll be Sam White, Murph Gray, and Reese Chapman to bat. Here against Sam Takoyan. Long relief outing extends to his 4th frame. He's been in there since the 5th. Took over for Bryson Bales. His first pitch sails to the backstop off the mitt of Luke Heyman. Gatemen have been powered by the long ball today. Couple of home runs. Jacob Gerald and Eli Putnam going deep. Putnam's was a 2-run shot. As Sam White watches ball 2. Harwich has had their moments with 7 runners on tonight. Finally broke through against Gavin Black in the 6th inning, a 2-run double. Made this game a 1-run game again as Sam White ticks, and it's 3-0. White 1 for 3 to this point in the game. Singled back in the 5th. 3-0 on the way, and they get me over strike for Takoyan.
Sam White has such a major league approach to the dish. He's taking aggressive takes and really does just wait for his pitch.
Here's the 3-1. And it's up and outside, ball 4. And you get results like that with that approach.
Again, just has such a small part of the zone that he's willing to swing at early on, and it makes for a lot of balls taken.
Now batting for Wareham, the 3rd baseman, Fresno State.
It's just the second walk all day for Harwich pitching. And the first for Takoyan. Brings up Murph Gray. It was a couple of knocks tonight. His second one nearly cleared the fence in left center field. It went right off the top of the wall for a double. He wound up scoring 2 batters later on Putnam's home run to the same area. First pitch up and into the right-handed batter, ball 1. Takoyan having trouble finding the zone here. .54 pitches for Takoyan in this relief outing. Gray gets into one. Out to deep left field. Barth tracking it at the wall. Makes the catch. Another deep drive off the bat of Murph Gray, but it finds an outfielder's glove for out number 1.
Well, he got all of that one. I would not be surprised to see Takoyan's plug pulled sometime soon because he just walked someone and then that ball hit real hard.
Number 7, Reese Chapman.
And so it'll be Reese Chapman. Great to see Murph locking in after going hitless yesterday. Chapman yet to reach base on a hit today. He has walked. As he takes the first pitch in the dirt, White takes off for second. He'll reach without a throw. It was a ball that one-hopped into the chest protector of Luke Heyman behind the dish. And White saw that, immediately took off for second base.
Well, being a catcher, too, that runs well. It's so easy for him to judge what a pitch is going to look like on a ricochet, whether or not it's going to cue back to the catcher. And, yeah, he was off immediately.
Credit him with a stolen base. His second of the season. Now in scoring position for Chapman. Huge lead for him, and Takoyan steps off. He just extended that lead by 3 giant steps, and Takoyan had no choice but to step off.
Sam White's always doing something.
That's very true.
Just dancing around on the second base bag right now. 1-0 pitch. Chapman watches ball 2 outside. Righty on the mound against the lefty at the plate. Chapman's also bounced out to second and lined out to center field his last time up. Game it up 4-3 here in the top of the 8th inning, 1 gone. 2-0 coming to Chapman. High pop-up, shallow center field. Matt Scannell has a beat on it, drifting to his right, makes the catch. White will not tag, he'll hold his ground at second.
I mean, just under that one. I mean, one of these guys is just a small adjustment away from getting the pitch they've been looking for. I mean, that's huge right now. When you got a runner in scoring position, you're only up by 1, you got to get that insurance run in ASAP.
Well, here's a guy who's got a great chance of doing that, and Eli Putnam. His 3rd game in a row starting at first base, his first homer in 3 weeks tonight. First offering. Swings over the top of the breaking ball, strike 1. Sam White at second with 2 gone. We're in the top of the 8th, a 4-3 Gatemen lead. And now time called here at home plate. Now they'll reset. Takoyan has the sign from Heyman. White several steps off of second in the 0-1. Bluff steal. Putnam goes the other way, down the right side. Diving attempt. Maldonado can't come up with it. White around third. He'll score. Putnam on his way to second. Now he's on his way to third. The throw in, the relay from Anderson. And it's not in time. An RBI triple for Eli Putnam. He scores White, and it's a 5-3 Gatemen lead.
How about that? An RBI triple. I think that's his first 3-bagger of the year, and he's been an extra base hit machine.
He actually becomes the first Gateman with multiple triples this year. He did have one of the 4. What a night for Eli Putnam. And what a pick by you. He was your hitter to watch going into this ball game today.
I forgot I said that.
I'll give you some credit right now, Kyle Marchak. 5-3, Wareham leads it in the top of the 8th inning as Jace Reinhardt bats with a runner at third and 2 gone. Sam Takoyan trying to work through his 4th inning in relief. Pours in strike 1 at the knees. Reinhardt 1 for 3 tonight. Fastball clips the outside part of the plate, 0-2. His 1 hit came back in the 4th inning. It was a single. The 0-2 delivery. Skips off of Heyman down the first base side, and Putnam will score easily on the wild pitch. It was a slider in the dirt. Heyman tried to backhand it. It went off his forearm and ricocheted towards the Gatemen on deck circle. No play at the plate. It's a 6-3 Gatemen lead.
Well, it's the second time Putnam has found his way to home plate on a wild pitch. So how about we just keep getting that guy on base?
He has scored 3 times tonight. Base is clear now with 2 away. The 1-2 to Reinhardt. Driven in the air, deep to left field. Barth tracking this one, looks up, and it's off the base of the wall. Reinhardt going for 2, and he will reach there with a 2-out double. I think Eli Putnam would have scored regardless, huh?
Yeah, I think he could have done a couple of cartwheels on his way home on a ball like that. He had all the time in the world to figure out whether or not that thing was going to be caught. And finally, Englert will pull Tekoyan here.
6th double of the year for Reinhardt. Ties Bobby Bozer atop the team leaderboards. As Englert makes his way to the mound, he takes the ball from Tekoyan, whose long relief day comes to an end. A lot of hard contact here in the 8th inning. RBI triple for Eli Putnam. He later scored on the wild pitch, so 2 runners in, a 6-3 advantage for the Wareham Gatemen. Pitching change will get you the new arm on the hill for the Harwich Mariners on the other side of the break here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Jesse Simmons.
And I'm Bobby Bozer.
And this is Catching Up with the Gatemen. All right, so Bobby, once again, thank you for taking the time. You played a really good season here at the Gatemen, and not often a chance that people get to play twice in the Cape Cod Baseball League. You've done it twice and with the same team with Wareham. What does that mean to you, and how's your experience been, being out here in the draft just a couple days away?
Yeah, thank you, by the way. I'm excited to be out here for the second time. Thanks to Coach Smythe for having me out here for a second time. He's the best GOAT. It means a lot for me to be out here, honestly. It's the most pure form of baseball, and I love the simplicity of it. Being out here, you learn a lot, and I'm very grateful to have that experience going back to the MLB, back to school. Who knows what's in store in the next few days, but I'm excited, looking forward to it, and I'm just enjoying life out here on the Cape.
Yeah, keeping that, you kept it simple. 350 batting average, you've really tore it up. You are playing good baseball right now in its purest form, maybe for you. What's the biggest takeaway you've taken from Smythe, Coach Mobbs, all these guys out here in the Cape, is that this team specifically that will carry you into this draft and wherever the future takes you?
Yeah, I always hit on this, and it's the mental side of the game. They're very good at keeping everybody even keeled. Keeping my head level throughout this summer, throughout last summer is probably the biggest learning curve, especially in amateur baseball. Taking that next step to the professional baseball is the mental game, in my opinion, because everybody's physically good out here, but you get with the right people, they change your mentality a little bit and simplify the game of baseball for you. And if you can do that and bring out the best of your abilities and have fun doing it, that's kind of been the goal for me, and it's worked out pretty well so far.
Pitching change for the Harwich Mariners here in the top of the 8th inning. It is right-hander Colton Shaw who comes on to replace Sam Tekoyan. The Dallas native attends Yale University. He's pitched there for 3 seasons. This will be his 4th appearance for the Harwich Mariners. He enters with a 1.35 ERA, 2 earned runs in 6 2/3 innings this year. He takes over with 2 outs and a runner at second base. Brendan Summerhill will pinch run for Jace Reinhardt at second base after his 2-out double. Good to see Brendan back out there. Colby Turner will be the first assignment for Shaw. Tekoyan's line not quite finished. Still responsible for Summerhill at second. First pitch. Right down Broadway for a strike.
Well, Summer's been itching to get out and do something.
Turner 0 for 2 tonight. He was hit by a pitch. And a wave and a miss. It's 0-2. Tough 8th inning for Tekoyan. Allowed an RBI triple to Eli Putnam. Later scored on a wild pitch as well. 0-2 delivery. Lined foul down the right side. Right-hander looks at second. Looks again, the 0-2 delivery, a swing, and I believe that hit Turner on the third strike. It went off of him for sure. He swung through it, and now the umpires are going to convene here. Summerhill ran to third base.
Well,
try to make sense of this.
If he swung, I mean, it's going to be out number 3.
Right.
I don't know.
They are going to call him out. It's a ball that hit him in the arm as he swung. Well, that'll do it here for the top of the 8th inning. So that's how Shaw gets out of it. Gets the strikeout of Colby Turner, unorthodox as it may be. But the Gatemen score twice here in the 8th. They have a 6-3 lead going bottom 8 here at Harwich. This is the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Welcome into our next installment of the Wareham Walk-Off, and this time we're joined by a Wareham Gatemen infielder out of Fresno State, Murph Gray. You ready to roll?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. Well, how was the Cape trip choose your destination this summer?
Honestly, pretty great. I love it out here. The weather's nice. The people are great, and I'm playing with some of the best of the best, so I love it.
Warm weather, too, I guess kind of akin to California being from there?
Yeah, pretty similar. I'd say it's more humid here, but I mean, it's more dry heat in California.
Gotcha. All right, well, before you were Mountain West Freshman of the Year, you had a pretty good high school athletic career. I heard you played basketball. Were you a good hooper?
Yeah, I was a decent hooper. I played some center, some power forward. I did all right.
Okay, you were kind of forcing that center role. I mean, you're 6'4", 6'5". I guess you were the tallest kid on the team?
Oh, yeah, for sure the tallest on the team, so I kind of got forced into that.
Okay, well, another thing that you did that you don't do now was pitch in high school. Is it true that you tossed a perfect game?
Yeah, so that was our first game of the season. I tossed a perfect game, and it was honestly just kind of weird and surreal since I wasn't going to be a pitcher at the next level, so it was just...
And then where did that transition happen where you decided to just become a hitter?
I want to say about my junior year of high school, I was more focused on hitting, just becoming a better hitter, kind of bettering myself, and then I love hitting. It's my passion. So.
Well, you're pretty good at it. You're on a hot streak right now, and you hit 3 home runs in a matter of 48 hours at the beginning of this week, too. So we're glad to have you. My final note on that, to get to know you before we end this session, your birth certificate says Tristan. So where did the name Murph come from?
So the name Murph comes from the movie Like Mike, one of my favorite movies. Little white kid in there named Murph. Super pale, super white, and then when I was born, I was the same way, super pale, so the nickname just kind of stuck ever.
Back here in the bottom of the 8th inning, Jacob Faulkner's outing continues for the Wareham Gatemen. They now have a 6-3 advantage. They scored twice in the previous half inning. Eli Putnam's having himself quite a night. Home run and now the RBI triple. He later scored on a wild pitch. He's been huge today, Kyle.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been his day. A guy who just gets better with reps. He had to rest a little bit of a nagging injury for about a week, gets back in the lineup, 3 straight starts, and he's just in original form. So that kid has been seeing the ball well.
Jacob Faulkner had a 1-2-3 7th inning. He'll face the middle of the Mariners order here in the 8th. Matt Scannell, Michael Anderson, and Jake Ogden.
Leading off the bottom of the 8th.
Gatemen tonight, 6 runs on 8 hits.
Number 23.
Harwich has scattered
Scannell.
7 hits for their 3 runs. Scannell had one of the bigger hits today. Triple, later scored in the second. He cuts and misses at the first offering from Faulkner here. He came up with a big opportunity in the 5th inning. Bases loaded, 1 away. He smoked a line drive to left field, but Sam White robbed him with a diving catch and doubled off a runner at second base to end the frame. There's a called strike 0-2. White's defense certainly has been a highlight today. Made a couple of terrific running and diving catches out there, just like that one. Faulkner into the crouch in the 0-2. Nubbed foul.
Man, Faulkner's been tough to touch today, huh?
Faulkner's been everything that the Gatemen have needed him to be. Keep those hitters off balance. The low slot sidearm move, the 0-2 delivery, again slashed foul down the left side. Scannell, the lefty at the plate against the righty Faulkner on the hill. Final 6 outs for the Mariners as they look to avoid their 9th consecutive loss. The 0-2 again, just below the knees. Ball 1.
Well, it's not like they haven't fought for it. But I mean, there are just a lot of things, especially in the pitching side, that just can't happen, that have.
Faulkner's 1-2 is smoked in the air down the right field line. That'll hook foul. Couple mistakes today. Mistake pitches to Jacob Jarrell and Eli Putnam, both homering for the first time in 3 weeks. That continues a theme we've seen quite a bit throughout this Gatemen season as Scannell rolls over one to second base, picking this one up Turner, and the throw to first in time. One gone in the bottom of the 8th. That trend being a new contributor every single night. And tonight just so happens to be 2 new contributors. Jarrell's, kind of been struggling at the plate as of late, and Putnam missing time with injury and having himself a great night here in his 3rd consecutive start. So great to see it.
No, I mean, if you're Ryan Smythe, you're just absolutely elated. These guys have stepped up.
First pitch, a called strike to Michael Anderson, who's 0 for 3. He's been unusually quiet. Had an absolutely torrid start to this Cape League season. He was the Week 1 hitter of the week. At over 500 through the first week or so of play. Since then has dipped down to 267 with the average entering play tonight. He fights off a pitch. It's 0-2. He's homered 5 times, driven in 16 runs. So he's still at the top of those leaderboards relatively, top 5 in both throughout the league. But tonight just hasn't been his night. The 0-2 whipped outside by Faulkner. And if Harwich wants any piece of getting out of this losing streak, they're going to need Anderson to step up. Righty against the righty. Faulkner into the wind-in deal. And the tapper hit towards short. Jimenez charging in on a couple of hops. Throw to first is strong and true. And out number 2.
Do you mean a rhyme right there?
No.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Third baseman from Miami, number 8, Jake Ogden.
So it's Jake Ogden with the bases clear and 2 away. It's a 6-3 Wareham lead in the bottom half of the 8th inning. 4 outs to go for these Harwich Mariners. Gatemen have gone 2-0 against them all year, looking for win number 3. And Faulkner just misses inside to the right-handed batter, ball 1.
Brendan.
Is he?
He pinch ran last inning, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if is this the first time he's played this field?
Yeah, I'm surprised he's actually even playing.
4 days.
This one fouled away. It's 1-1. So Brendan Summerhill still in this game in center field. He takes over for Jace Reinhardt, and Reese Chapman slides from center to right. Summerhill pinch running in the previous half inning. Faulkner deals, and a cue shot up the first base line. Putnam picks it up just to the right of the bag. He takes it to first base himself, and another 1-2-3 frame for Jacob Faulkner. Second time he's done that today, and it sends us to the top of the 9th inning. Gatemen will look for some insurance runs here as they maintain a 6-3 lead over the Mariners here in Harwich. 9th inning coming up from Whitehouse Field on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Jesse Simmons.
And I'm Brendan Summerhill.
And this is Catching Up with the Gatemen. All right, so Brendan, junior, Arizona. From Chicago, though. Tell me a little about that. You said we talked about you grew up not far from Wrigley Field. What was that like growing up?
Yeah, a mile away from Wrigley. It was special. When the Cubs won in 2016, I really realized how cool it was to be a Cubs fan.
Right.
The entire north side of the city was partying for like, a week straight. I was in 7th grade. School got canceled the next day. We all got to go to the parade. It was super fun.
It's easy to say that. Did that grow your love for baseball early on, and being able to be a part of that and so close to an MLB team?
Absolutely.
You know, it's hard not to want to get into baseball, right?
It's just, there's something about baseball that there's nothing else like it.
Right. Was there an MLB player that you...
108 years, you don't win a World Series.
Right.
And then they win it, and everyone goes crazy. It was fun. It was super cool.
Was there an MLB player that you emulated your swing? You know, you play outfield. We talked about Ellie De La Cruz. You emulate that. Was there a different player growing up that you wanted to be like?
I always like to watch YouTube videos like Ken Griffey Jr. He's probably my favorite hitter to ever watch. I don't I wouldn't necessarily say I emulated my swing off his, but
To the top of the ninth, we have arrived here at Harwich. Whitehouse Field on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. A 6-3 advantage for the Gatemen, and they're looking for some insurance here as Nate Early steps in. He takes ball one outside from Colton Shaw. After Early, we'll see Jacob Jarrell and Antonio Jimenez. And joining us now is Jesse Simmons, our team analyst. Great to have you, my friend.
Yes, sir. It's good to have you, too. Busy night in baseball.
Oh, it is, as Early flies one down the left field line, heading into foul territory. Barth on the move, underneath, and makes the catch for out number one. Early flies out in foul ground. One gone in the top of the ninth. Got the MLB draft going. You're live tweeting this game, I think.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with it all. A little bit of Gators baseball, a little bit of everything tonight. You know, I got the stream rolling, logging the game, live tweeting, all that good stuff. But really good game here for the Gatemen, and a good bounce-back win is what they really needed from last night.
Still got 3 more outs to get as Jacob Jarrell watches ball one inside. He's homered tonight. Great to see from him, a guy who hasn't homered since, I believe, your very first game here with the Gatemen this year at Bourne.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a first pitch here, breaking ball off the corner of the plate here for a 2-0 count. Yeah, Jarrell's one of those guys that since I've arrived, just a little bit late in this season, he's always had a good bat. And he's always taking good swings.
He watches ball 3 inside.
Yeah, and I watched him today in BP. I walked up to the cage while the team was taking swings, and they were doing a little hitter's comp. And I liked what I saw out of Jarrell today. His swings looked good, and he was connecting in a little hitter's competition they did. And
he watches a strike from Shaw. It's 3-1.
Didn't win the competition, but his barrels look good. They were doing a low T drill, working on staying through your legs and getting the ball to the back of the net. It's good to see him finding some consistency that he needs.
Absolutely, as he takes a called strike here. Started to go around, decided to hold up. It's now a full count on the Clemson catcher, whose family is here tonight in Harwich to watch this ball game. And he gave them a little bit of a show, so that's always great. As he swings and misses, nice two-seam action there on that fastball from Shaw. 2 up, 2 down in the ninth. So great to see a lot of Cape League alumni getting drafted. That's how it is every single year, but especially here tonight with the last year's MVP going first overall and Travis Bazzana to Cleveland.
Yeah, not exactly how I had my draft slotted out, but Bazzana, he has a bat and a glove that will hang with anybody else, and you can see why as he got drafted number 1 overall to the Cleveland Guardians.
Antonio Jimenez, first pitch, powered in the air to left field. This will stay in the ballpark, and Tommy Barth over to make the catch. It's a relatively quick top of the ninth inning for the Wareham Gatemen, but they'll go back on defense with 3 more outs to go in this one as they look for the save here over the Harwich Mariners. A 6-3 advantage, and Anthony Susak coming in, I see, for the Gatemen. He'll be on the mound to begin the bottom of the ninth here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.
Welcome into our first edition of the Wareham Walk-Off in 2024. And our first guest, as we get to know you, is Tony Pluta, a right-handed pitcher out of Arizona. You ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, Tony. Well, you're from Chicago, so what brought you out west to Arizona?
So my recruiting coordinator at Arizona knew my high school coach really well and knows that whole area very well. So it's just kind of how I got connected with them.
Gotcha. So they reached out to you in high school. You told me you topped out at 95 in high school, so pretty easy to get noticed?
Yeah, that definitely helps. But, you know, going all the tournaments and all that kind of thing helps.
Okay, well, on top of that, you've developed some accolades in your short career in college baseball so far. You were in the Northwoods last year, and then college ball treated you well in 2024. Your spring was pretty fun. How about that Pac-12 championship? What was that like?
It was amazing, especially being the last Pac-12 championship. It was an awesome feeling to win the last Pac-12 game ever.
Yeah, and then Brendan Summerhill, your Gateman teammate, hit the walk-off. So is it cool to share that moment with your Summer teammate as well?
Oh yeah, it's great. Every moment with Summer is something special, so it's great to have a teammate like that.
Speaking of Summer, you've been to a lot of different baseball destinations. This is kind of your first one for an extended period of time out east. Where does Wareham rank all time?
It's pretty great. I mean, the Northwoods was definitely its own thing, but I love Wareham. It's a great spot to be.
Yeah, it's been fun so far. We made it to home plate, so my final question for you, what's the goal this summer?
Just pitch well, throw strikes, and get guys out.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Kyle.
That's our first edition of the Wareham Walk-Off. We'll catch you guys next week.
Bottom of the ninth inning is upon us here from Harwich, and a 6-3 lead for the Wareham Gatemen as they look to get back in the win column and hand Harwich their 9th consecutive loss. Anthony Susak of Arizona. Tonko takes over here in the bottom of the ninth, looking for the save. Susak, to this point in the season, has a couple of saves this year. A 3.18 ERA in 11 and a third innings. He's allowed just 4 earned runs. Susak takes over for Jacob Faulkner, who was lights out over the 7th and 8th frames. 1, 2, 3 outings from him. In a game that the Gatemen offense has simply outpaced Harwich tonight. A couple of home runs. Eli Putnam and Jacob Gerald going deep. Putnam adding an RBI triple in the 8th inning really gave the Gatemen the run support that they needed tonight.
Yeah, and you know what? This has been an offensive battle a little bit at times today, and they really did go step for step. But as you said, it has been an outpacement by the Gatemen offense, especially with that 2-run shot back, or the 2 spot back in the 7th. I mean, when you step away late in the game like that, it's so hard to come back knowing that the outs are ticking away.
6 runs on 8 hits for the Gatemen and 7 hits sprayed for the Mariners tonight on their 3 runs. Susak will face the bottom third of the order. Tommy Barth, Luke Heyman, and Cam Maldonado are due up. Heyman, check that. The Mariners
Leading off the top of the ninth for Harwich. The
looking
left
to
fielder
avoid
for
loss
Kansas.
number 9 in a
15,
row. It has
Tommy
just been a
Barth.
rough couple of weeks for them. Susak is looking for a bounce-back outing. Allowed a couple of earned runs last time out at Cotuit, or against Cotuit at home. A couple of saves this year against Hyannis and one against Bourne.
The other thing we need to organize is
Righty on righty, here's Tommy Barth. The first pitch to him. Just inside for ball 1. This game was started by Griffin O'Connor. It was another terrific outing for the right-hander out of Georgetown.
yeah, you got to go early in the morning.
Went 4 innings, 1 earned run allowed. As Susak gets the strike at the knees, it's 1-1. Couple of walks, 3 strikeouts for O'Connor. He gave way to Gavin Black. He allowed a couple of earned runs, allowed Harwich to get back in this game. They made it a 1-run ball game after a 2-run 6th. Broken back ground ball right to Susak. Snares it on a couple of hops. Underhand toss to Putnam covering first base for the out.
Love it. Guy's big, fields his position. PFPs, we've seen that a lot in this game.
Number 29, Luke Heyman.
Defense has been a strong suit of the Gatemen tonight, an errorless performance.
There's nothing better than
That'll bring up Luke Heyman. Base is clear, 1 gone in the bottom of the 9th inning. Last hopes for the Mariners. First offering from Susak is inside ball 1. Around the league, Cotuit leading Bourne 3-1 in the 8th inning at Bourne. Hyannis up 4-2 on YD at McKeon Park. Orleans leading the Chatham Anglers 3-1. And the only final score to this point, Brewster 10, Falmouth 8 in Brewster. 1-0 deal. Drops in at the knees. The called strike evens the count. Heyman's 0 for 3 tonight. Susak deals, and Heyman drives this one in the air out towards center field. A sky-high fly ball. Summerhill tracking and hauling it in. Makes the snag off to the left side. Just had to backtrack a couple of steps. Harwich down to their final out on this Sunday night.
Summerhill is the happiest kid at the ballpark today.
Getting in the game finally.
Yep.
He's been battling a wrist injury these last couple of ball games. It's been holding him out of the starting lineup. Hopefully this is the start of his return. Last hope for the Mariners is Cam Maldonado. He climbs into the right-handed box with the bases clear and 2 gone. As Susak misses way inside for ball 1. Susak himself, draft eligible. So maybe over these next couple of days he'll hear his name called.
It's entirely possible.
Today, of course, round 1 of the Major League Baseball draft underway in Arlington, Texas. As the 1-0 just inside again, 2 balls, no strikes to Maldonado. Hopefully we'll hear Bobby Bozer's name called. A couple of other Gatemen are eligible to be selected. 2-0 deal. At the knees, he gets the call. Maldonado had that 2-run double off of Black in the 6th inning. That was the last time Harwich scored. 6-3 Gatemen advantage. 2 more strikes to get. 1 more strike to get. As that pitch right down Broadway, 2-2. Susak looking for his 3rd save and a 1-2-3 ninth inning. He comes set. And the 2-2 delivery. Swung on and missed. Gerald applies the tag, and that'll do it. Ball game over. Gatemen win it. A 6-3 win at Whitehouse Field in Harwich. Mariners drop 9 in a row, and the Gatemen are back in the win column. They have surpassed their win total from last season with their 16th win here in 2024, and they sit pretty atop the Cape League West Division. A beautiful Sunday night for baseball, and it comes up all Gatemen tonight, Kyle.
They really earned this one. You know, they had to outpace them step by step with the offense, and they did it with that 2 spot in the 7th inning to break away at the back end of this ball game. But the pitching, man, they really had to step up because the Harwich's strong suit is the offense time and time through. And for Griffin O'Connor to go out there and get another spectacular start, the bullpen to keep them in the game, it was an all-around effort today.
Absolutely, and it all started with Griffin O'Connor, who really set the tone. That's what he talked about in his pregame interview with Madison Walker, setting the tone. He did so. 4 shutdown innings, just 1 earned run allowed. His 2nd start of the season was a beauty. Gavin Black, in his final outing as a Gateman, got knocked around a little bit, made the ball game close, but then, of course, it was Jacob Faulkner and Anthony Susak who comes on and shuts the door. It's Susak's 3rd save of the season. A couple of the offensive highlights for the Wareham Gatemen, Jacob Jarrell and Eli Putnam. Jarrell started it off with a solo shot in the 3rd inning. He was the 9-hole batter. And that's what you look at when you look at this Gateman order. What Ryan Smythe has been able to do game in, game out by crafting this lineup. He gets production from different spots at different points in the ballgame.
Yeah, it really is impressive. I mean, you're going to have those guys who are consistencies for the most part, but it's baseball. There's parity. And it really is at random, you know, different guys stepping up each day and all of them putting together good seasons. So it's not like it's out of the normal to just see a random Antonio Jimenez day or a Summerhill day. You name the player. But the fact that they have different contributors in different parts of the order each day is so promising for Smythe because he can trust that any guy in this lineup can be a cleanup or a leadoff or whatever they ask of them.
And I'll give you some credit, Kyle Marchak. You said in the pregame show today that Eli Putnam was a guy to watch, and he absolutely performed today. A 2-run shot in the 4th inning, the first time he's homered in just about 3 weeks in his 3rd straight start at first base, and then later in the ballgame added on an RBI triple. He's the first Gateman this year with multiple triples on the season. That proved to be the difference in this 6-3 ball game. So terrific stuff. The Gatemen have themselves a well-earned off day coming up here tomorrow, and they'll be back at it on the road at Orleans, a 6:30 first pitch over at Eldridge Park. So with that, on behalf of everybody involved with this broadcast on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV, we thank you so much for listening. The final score, the Wareham Gatemen 6 and the Harwich Mariners 3. For the Gatemen, 6 runs on 8 hits, no errors. And for the Mariners, 3 runs on 7 hits, no errors. Tonight, the win goes to Gavin Black. He improves to 2-0. The loss to Bales of Harwich. He's 0-1. And the save to Anthony Susak, his 3rd of the season. Time of the ballgame, 2 hours and 52 minutes. And the attendance tonight at Whitehouse Field, 1,130. We'll talk to you in a couple of days from Orleans, a 6:30 first pitch. Make sure you catch the Gatemen Baseball Network postgame show. Should be available on our YouTube page by the end of the night. Conversation between myself and Kyle Marchak and postgame interviews with Madison Walker will be in there as well. Final score for one more time from Harwich, Gatemen 6, Mariners 3. We'll talk to you in a couple of days from Orleans on the Gatemen Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV.